no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today.
Welcome back to Oahe Zap Baseball. The Oahe Zap set to take on the Casper Spuds for Game 2 of this two-game series. Last night, the Spuds taking down the Zap by a score of 11-5. The Spuds got out to an early 5-0 lead, but the Zap started chipping away in the bottom of the fourth. Emiliano Curiel drove in 3 runs last night, came around to score 1 himself, but it was a Vince Polizzi double in the bottom of the 7th inning that tied the ball game up at 5 runs apiece. However, Brady Glenn would surrender a 2-run home run to Josh Phillips in the top of the 8th inning, and that gave the Spuds a 7-5 lead. The Spuds would tack on 4 more runs in the top half of the 9th inning and would go on to win by a score of 11-5. So the Casper Spuds have now defeated the Oahe Zap in all 7 of their appearances so far this season. Zap trying to change that here on a lovely Friday evening. Looks like we may have a little bit of a delay tonight as we are waiting for our second umpire, but we'll keep you posted on that. For now, let's take a look at the game time weather report. Lovely evening here, 86 degrees and sunny, going down to about 81 in an hour. And will eventually make its way down into the 70s, staying partly cloudy tonight, though no chance for rain in the forecast, so should be a good one. Take a look at the keys to the games. Capitalize on the Spuds' mistakes. That was something the Zap did a great job of doing last night in the middle innings. The Spuds making 3 errors in the field, most crucially a throwing error from their catcher Stone Vasek as Emiliano Curiel was stealing third. The throw went into the outfield and Curiel came on home to score, what made the game 5-4 at the time. So that's going to be something to note tonight. If the Spuds make errors in the field, the Zap are going to have to make them pay at the plate. Home sweet home. Aiden Johnson, this is just his second start he's making this summer at Hyde Stadium. So it'll be interesting to see if Johnson can get going here tonight. They're going to need a good performance from him, however, as the Zap pitching roster is starting to thin. They've lost Nathan Palacios. They've lost Ben Erzfeld. Jacob Swallow's last start is set for tomorrow. So it's a little bit of a thinner bullpen. We still don't know who's going to be starting on Sunday. It could possibly be Jacob Skinner. Skinner set to come out of the pen at some point tonight. But a strong start from Aiden Johnson would solve a lot of those problems for the Zap after today's game, a 2-game home series against the Hastings Sodbusters, and then the Zap go back to Casper for another 2 games. So even after tonight, the Zap still with 5 games left against the Casper Spuds this summer. We'll take a quick break. We'll let you know how we are looking on timing. It's 6:05 game time, but might be a little bit of a delay as we are still waiting on a second umpire here at Hyde Stadium. I'm Evan Epstein. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll be back with lineups for first pitch of Oahe Zap Baseball. Stay tuned.
What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. a proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale, all backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with TicketSmarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale, all backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking of
Well, we're situated to get starting on time. It'll be the Aiden Johnson taking the mound for the Oahe Zap. It'll be Johnson's 6th appearance of the year. Through his first 5, he's gone 17 innings, posting a 1-4 record, 6.88 ERA, a 12-7 strikeout to walk ratio. He'll face the Casper Spuds here tonight. Let's take a look at the Spuds lineup. Leading off in center field is Elijah Reeves, batting second, and DHing Chase Burke. Dylan Schlotterback bats third. Josh Phillips at first hits fourth. Raphael Jackson out in right field will bat fifth. Wesley Flatt at second base hits sixth. Matt Marsick, Chandler Stocking, and Parker Burt round out the lineup for the Casper Spuds tonight. Well, it is both Chislik night tonight here at Hyde Stadium. It's also Free Friday, and that is showing. It's a packed ballpark at Hyde Stadium. A lot of people under the Hyde Stadium backstop as general admission tickets are free for the night. So Johnson will face Reeves to lead off the game. Little insight from Angel Escobar before this one was pitch up to Elijah Reeves. Reeves a lot of speed on the base pad, so you want to make him put the ball in the air rather than testing out his speed when he puts it on the ground. Reeves yesterday, though, just 0 for 3, a walk and a hit by pitch, but he came around to score both of the times he got on base. He steps into the right-handed batter's box and is ready. Johnson looks in for the sign from Calcaterra. He is ready, and let's get underway at Hyde Stadium. Aiden Johnson misses low. Games against the Spuds has been walks. Yesterday, they gave up 5 walks. Garrett Bergman, in his last outing on Sunday against the Spuds, gave up 6 through his first 4 innings, as that one misses, and Johnson falls behind 2-0 on Reeves. Checked his swing on that one, fouled it away as the count goes 2-1. Well, the estimates coming into the game were that we'd have between 500 and 600 people here at Hyde Stadium, which would make for a record. Now the 2-1 pitch, and that one gets Reeves in the shoulder, so a free pass for Elijah Reeves, a dangerous base runner, is now on the base pads at first with no one out.
The designated hitter, number 3, Chase Burke. Your batter's next.
Well, Elijah Reeves, coming into this game, 11 of his past 14 plate appearances have been either walks or hit by pitches. You can now make it 12 of his last 15, as that brings up Chase Burke. Burke DHing here tonight. Pitch from Phillips, hit well out towards center field. Coming on to make the play is Curiel. Reeves had a big jump off of first. He has to get back quickly, as there's one away now in the top of the first inning. Well, it looks like we had a little bit of a change in the Casper Spuds lineup tonight. Turned out the 2-hitter was Cody Clausius. Had Chase Burke from James Batten on his original lineup from just a couple hours ago. But instead of Burke, it'll be Cody Clausius in the 2 spot. And we'll see how it plays out in the field. So we'll get you updated on that. That brings up Dylan Schlotterback with 1 out here. Top of the first, Johnson comes home as that one first pitch swinging once again. It'll hook just foul down the left field line. A well-hit ball off the bat of Dylan Schlotterback, but a little far out ahead of Johnson's pitch. Well, that'll happen sometimes with Johnson. Doesn't necessarily have the highest velocity, but when he's placing his curveball well, dropping it in on the knees of hitters, that's when he's at his best. The one thing he has to be careful of is don't hang the curveball. We saw last night from both Josh Phillips and Rafael Jackson that if you hang a curveball to this Spuds lineup, you might not see it again. Little bit of confusion on the field. It's going to be a foul ball. Not sure what the confusion was, as it was pretty clearly about 4 or 5 feet foul off the left field line. Count now 0-1 on Schlotterbeck. So each of the past 2 hitters were first pitch swinging the count, and Johnson will check in on Elijah Reeves. Well, Schlotterbeck yesterday was 2 for 4. Drove in a run, came around to score once himself, and worked a walk, so a nice day from the shortstop at the plate. It'll be an 0-1 pitch. Reeves dancing off first. Well, the Casper Spuds, they've played the Zap 7 times now. They've put up at least 10 runs in each of those 7 ball games. Check back to first. Reeves looked like he was leaning on Johnson, continuing to monitor the runner, and for good reason. Reeves with 12 stolen bases this summer. That one down in the dirt. Count goes 2-1. Wow, what a crowd we have here at Hyde Stadium. It is jam-packed in the general admissions section under the Hyde Stadium backstop as they're all fighting for the shade back there. 2-1 the count now on Schlotterbeck. Reeves the runner on first. Johnson comes home as that one's grounded foul down the third base line. Once again, Schlotterbeck and the Spuds out ahead of an Aiden Johnson fastball. So the count now 2-2. Elijah Reeves has not shown any inclination to steal quite yet. But the Spuds have been averaging over 4 successful stolen base attempts per game. Johnson misses with the curveball high as the count runs full. They're 101 for 106 on their stolen base attempts this year. That is by far the most in the Independence League. Reeves himself has been walked to Dylan Schlotterbeck. No stolen base from Reeves as he can walk in safely after Schlotterbeck takes ball 4. And that will bring up Josh Phillips. It up 5-5 in the bottom half of the 7th. But Brady Glenn just missed out over the middle of the plate, and the wind was blowing well out towards right field last night. It was a towering shot. I would say tonight, on a night like tonight when the wind's not blowing, it probably would have stayed in the ballpark, but with 20-mile-an-hour winds straight out towards right field, that ball carried over the right field wall. First pitch swinging, that one off the end of the bat over into left field. Noah Wiggins fighting the sun makes the play for the second out of the inning. Runners will stay put at first and second. So Aiden Johnson recovering nicely after hitting Elijah Reeves for the first at-bat of the game and giving up a walk to Dylan Schlotterbeck. Now 2 outs with runners on first and second brings up Rafael Jackson. Well, Jackson, the other Spuds hitter last night with a home run of his own. That home run, well, Phillips barely made it over the wall, but Jackson was about halfway out into the parking lot over in right field. It went over the first row of cars. Big situation for him here. He rips the first pitch towards second. A nice play by Tyler Hoffman, who goes to first. Well, Hoffman usually in the outfield, but making his presence known at second base early on in this ballgame. Aiden Johnson leaves runners stranded on first and second. That will do it in the top of the first. Zap coming to bat. Game remains scoreless. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at TicketSmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them
Well, back here in the bottom of the first, Tyler Hoffman, a fantastic play at second base. You know, he's normally situated either in left or right field, but he's adjusted to his spot at second nicely when he's had to come in and play. Take a look at the Zap starting lineup for tonight. Leading off, well, it's Tyler Hoffman, so a chance to add on to a nice start in the field at the plate. Batting second in left field, Noah Wiggins. Buck Snabs hits third at short. Jacob Trusner cleaning up at first. DHing Mason Lang bats fifth. Mike Monham hits sixth in right field. Will Calcaterra behind the plate for the Zap tonight. Will hits seventh. Jackson Mix at the hot corner hit for Spuds is Jason Fink. Well, Jason Fink, over his first 5 outings, has thrown 25 2/3 innings, a 1-0 record, 2.46 ERA, and it looks like he plunked Tyler Hoffman with the first pitch of his outing. So a quick start for Hoffman and off hitter in the top and bottom halves of the first inning. Well, the Zap not complaining, as that brings up Noah Wiggins. Wiggins yesterday was 2 for 3 at the plate with a run and a walk. His average now up to a season-high 282. Catcher Parker Burt, so Tyler Hoffman jogs on down to second just 2 pitches into this game. Well, a hit by pitch and a wild pitch from Jason Fink puts a runner on second with no one out. A quick start to the game for the Oahe Zap, as Fink looks a little bit errant with the fastball. Well, it's been just 2 pitches, so maybe count on Wiggins, who fouls that one off to even it up at 1-1. Well, 2 days ago, Noah Wiggins was 5 for 6 against the North Platte Plainsmen with 4 runs and 4 RBIs. So add that to yesterday, he's 7 for the netting. Looked like it was coming right up here for the press box, but a little bit of protection with the netting. 1-2 goes the count on Wiggins. Hoffman, a short lead off second. The pitch, breaking ball, misses high to even up the count at 2-2. Well, Wiggins this year, he's driven in 6 runs, came around to score 12 times himself, leads the team in walks with 16, has a great eye at the plate. The 2-2 breaking ball just misses high as the count runs full on Wiggins, so showing off that eye right there. The year for the Trappers, has played the past 2 for the Zap. He convinced Wiggins to come this summer as the 3-2 misses inside. It might have clipped his jersey. Well, regardless of whether or not it goes down as a hit by pitch or a walk, the Zap will have runners on first and second with no one out. And that brings up the red-hot Buck Snabs. Well, Buck Snabs, the player spotlight for tonight. Let's take a look at what he's done as of late. Since June 11th, that's been 15 games since then. He's 19 for 47. That's a .404 batting average. He's first night for the Zap. That Snabs is hitting in the 3 spot. He was excited to see that up here in the press box earlier, and well-deserved. Well, the Oahe Zap lucked out. They've only had 1 true shortstop ever since Brandon Weigel left for the year with a shoulder injury. But Snabs has been absolutely terrific. He's been in the lineup almost every single day. And he's got runners on first and second with no one out as the Zap look to get ahead early facing the Casper Spuds. Now the pitch from Fink. Fastball in there for a strike. 0-1 the count on Buck Snabs. Well, mentioned Snabs hitting .302 this season. He's also hit a long ball. Hits that one on the ground towards first. That one gets through into right field. Hoffman's being waved home. Here's the throw from Jackson, but it pulls Parker Burt a little bit high, so Tyler Hoffman scores the first run of the ballgame for the Oahe Zap. Noah Wiggins advances to third as the throw came into home plate from threatening with runners on first and third and no one out. That brings up Jacob Trusner. So Buck Snabs continues his hot hitting at the plate. He'll pick up an RBI, his 12th of the year. Jacob Trusner steps in. Trusner hitting .220 on the year, a couple of long balls. takes the fastball, and that one gets behind Trusner, but it gets by Parker Burt. The throw to Fink is not in time. Diving in safely is Noah Wiggins, but Wiggins appears to have hurt perhaps his shoulder, if not his arm on the play. Oh, he crumpled right away. That might not be good. Noah Wiggins, as soon as he dove in there, turned over. Looks like his left arm. Well, the Zap lead 2-0, but much more concerned about the health of Noah Wiggins out there on the field. Wiggins will walk it off. Looks like he's still in a bit of pain. So we'll see if near in the bottom of the first inning, the count 1-0 on Jacob Trusner. Buck Snabs advances to second on the wild pitch. Already the second wild pitch coming in from Jason Fink, who's already hit Tyler Hoffman with the pitch and walked Noah Wiggins. Now the 1-0. That one hit. Brings up Mason Lang. Well, Lang yesterday, 1 for 4, a run and a strikeout. He had touched 300. That one hit on the ground towards third. Fielding it on a weird hop is Stocking, who fires to first for the second out of the inning. Good job by Chandler Stocking to stay with that ball. It was rolling slowly. Looked like it took a hop up towards the left side of his body. Brings up Mike Monham. Well, Monham hitting .261 on the season. Didn't play yesterday in the series against the Plainsmen. Was 0 for 2, 2 walks and a hit by pitch. The fastball up and inside, 1-0 the count on Monham. Jason Fink has had a real problem with the control of his fastball early on. A little bit uncomfortable for Zap hitters as that heater likely up into the upper 80s, if not touching 90. Snabs leads off second, the 1-0 pitch. That one finds the outside corner for strike one. Well, the Zap have scored 2 runs already here in the bottom of the first off just 1 hit, a hit by pitch from Tyler Hoffman, a walk from Noah Wiggins. Monham takes that one for ball 2. A couple of wild pitches. Wiggins is all right, had to be helped off the field, looked like a left arm injury. As Monham grounds that one weakly towards first, Phillips fields, Fink coming to the bag, and just beats out Mike Monham as Phillips with the underhand flip to the pitcher for the third out of the inning. But the Oahe Zap get 2 runs across in the bottom of the first. They lead by a score of 2-0. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at Ticketsmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed.
Well, Noah Wiggins going to stay in this ball game for the Oahe Zap as he jogs out towards left field. So good to see that Wiggins at least is all right for now. Jersey all covered up in dust after he dove in head first to score the second run of the game for the Oahe Zap. It was Tyler Hoffman who came around to score on the base hit from Buck Snabs. Well, the Zap out to an early 2-0 lead. It'll be 6, 7, and 8 to hit here for the Casper Spuds. Wesley Flatt, Matt Marsick, and Chase doesn't get much playing time on the Casper Spuds. That despite the fact that he hit .407 in the first half and led the entire Independence League in average as that one fouled against the press box. Just to my left, count goes 0-1.
Make sure you're taking foul balls in for free
Now the 0-1 from Johnson misses down in the dirt. Count evens up 1-1. Well, Flat is competing for playing time with Chandler Stocking, Hunter Billingsley, and Dawson Barricani. Dylan Schlotterback, the everyday shortstop for the Spuds. It's heavy competition at second and third. Swings through the breaking ball from Johnson as the count moves to 1-2. So Johnson stranded 2 runners on back in the top of the first. He got Josh Phillips to fly out to left field and Jackson to ground out to second. And he gets Wesley Flat to go down swinging to begin the top of the second inning. First strikeout of the ball game for Aiden Johnson. So Johnson, ever since those first couple of batters, appears to be on a roll as Matt Marsick will step in. Ball 1. Marsick, a productive season at the plate. He's driven in 26 runs, scored 19 times himself. The 1-0 fastball misses high, 2-0. Well, the Spuds, a lefty-heavy lineup, including Matt Marsick, who takes that pitch, as Aiden Johnson, after striking out the first batter of the inning, falls behind 3-0 in the count to Marsick. Well, we saw yesterday a lot of Spuds hitters had the green light in a 3-0 count. We'll see if Marsick does here. Yes, he did. A big swing and a miss on the 3-0 fastball. Moves to 3-1. And, you know, that's something to note as a pitcher. A lot of times 3-0, you think the batter's taking all the way. You try and groove a fastball. Now the 3-1, that one misses low and inside. So it'll be first batter of the game in Elijah Reeves. Well, the Zap as a pitching staff, they average over 5 walks per game. That has been absolutely detrimental to this point. Well, Johnson got away with it back in the first inning. He'll try and leave Marsick stranded here in the second, and he'll check in on the runner at first. But Marsick, a perfect 16 for 16 on his stolen base attempts this season. That's why walks are even more crucial here against a team like the Casper Spuds because of how they run on the base paths. Well, Johnson checking in on Marsick now for a second time before even going with the first pitch to Chandler Stocking. Now the pitch to Stocking, that one called for a strike. Looks like the home plate umpire was backing up from that pitch as the count goes 0-1. Well, Stocking hitting .220 on the season. He was 0 for 4 yesterday. Johnson paying a lot of attention to Marsick on first. Comes home with the 0-1 pitch. Looked like Stocking was out ahead of that, so a foul ball over into Capitol Avenue. You hold your breath every time a ball goes up into the road. Capitol Avenue to the left of Hyde Stadium as, man, there are cars parked there every night. You'd think they'd learn at some point that there is some baseball being played just to the right of them. Count now 0-2 on Heidi, as there's now 2 away here in the top of the second inning. And Johnson doing a great job throughout that at-bat of keeping Matt Marsick put at first base. Well, he's now tied with Wesley Flat for stolen bases at 16. Flat led the Independence League with 16 through the first half as that pitch is fouled off from Parker Burt. Well, Burt, the one hitter in the Spuds lineup that Aiden Johnson wants to attack, is he's hitting .125 on the season. He's made just 30 plate appearances, has struggled to get playing time. Stone Vasek, the everyday catcher for the Spuds, gets the night off on this Friday night. Now the 0-1 breaking ball. That one drops in for a strike. The count goes to 0-2. Well, Johnson looks to be focusing in on the hitter here, Parker Burt, with 2 men out. The count 0-2. Let's see if Marsick gets aggressive out there. Yes, he does. He goes, but the pitch is fouled off, so Marsick will have to return to first as the count remains 0-2. Well, Johnson looks in for the sign from Calcaterra, now checks the runner, 0-2 pitch coming. Goes with the breaking ball, gets Parker Burt to chase. So Aiden Johnson strikes out 3 in the top of the second inning, leaves a runner stranded in Matt Marsick, and keeps the Oahe Zap lead at 2-0. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year,
Well, bottom of the second inning now here at Hyde Stadium. The Zap leading 2-0. A chance to add on. Jason Fink looks to settle down after an erratic first inning. He'll face 7, 8, 9 in the Zap order. Will Calcaterra, Jackson Mixon, Emiliano Curiel.
All right. Now batting for your Oahe Chisholm, the catcher, number 5, Will Calcaterra.
So Calcaterra, well, he's broke out of a slump against the North Platte Plainsmen. He's 4 for his last 6 at the plate. Over that span has scored 4 runs, driven in 3. An average now up to 184 on the season. Takes that pitch for strike 1 from Fink. Now the 0-1 pitch, and that one hits Will Calcaterra, so Jason Fink continues to have problems with his control here in the second inning. So 2 innings in a row, the leadoff man hit by a pitch. Last inning it was Tyler Hoffman, this inning Will Calcaterra, and that brings up Jackson Mix. Well, Mix, as of lately, has been the leadoff hitter for the Oahe Zap, but he's now put in the 8th spot. One of the problems with Jackson Mix has been a high strikeout rate on the season. He's struck out in about 25% of his plate appearances. Still has been a very productive hitter for the Zap. Swings through that one to fall behind 0-1 in the count. Mix struggling a little bit as of late as he's 0 for his last 10 at the plate. Breaks the 0 for 10 streak. Second inning in a row, the Zap with runners on first and second base with no one out. Well, that brings up Emiliano Curiel. And if you listen to the pregame show, you'd know Curiel was carrying the Zap on his shoulders last night as he was 3 for 4, drove in 3 runs. All 3 of the runs he drove in came with 2 outs in the inning. Came around to score once himself and hits that pitch on the ground. That one through the right side for a base hit. Will Calcaterra will be held at third, but Emiliano Curiel continues his... Pardon. Curiel continues his torrid stretch at the plate. Well, was hitting .464 with runners in scoring position going into that bat, and that number will move up after the ground ball gets through the right side. Curiel, when he has runners on bases, boy, he gets aggressive early in the count, and he seems to shorten up his swing, make sure he puts the ball in play, and there is already action up in the Casper Spuds bullpen. Well, back to the top of the lineup with Tyler Hoffman. Fink comes home with the fastball, and that one hits Tyler Hoffman on the shoulder, so that will bring in a run with the bases loaded and no one out. Jason Fink having some problems early on here on the mound as the Oahe Zap are out to a 3-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. Well, Hoffman's been hit by a pitch in both of his at-bats now. Jason Fink has hit 3 batters throughout this ballgame. That might do it for him. The bases still loaded, no outs, 1 run already in the bottom of the second. It's a 3-0 ballgame. James Batten will take the ball away from Fink, and we'll step aside here at Hyde Stadium. Zap out to an early 3-0 lead. Bases loaded, no outs. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. TicketSmarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the TicketSmarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think TicketSmarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed. At TicketSmarter,
You'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today.
Well, it's Brennan Daniel coming on early for the Casper Spuds in relief. You can close the book on Jason Fink, who went just 1 inning, giving up 3 runs, leaves the bases loaded in the bottom of the second inning. Well, he hit 3 batters with pitches and walked 1, gave up just 3 hits. Brennan Daniel comes on to replace him. Daniel, in 4 outings so far this year, has thrown 11 innings, posting a 1-0 record. He's given up just 6 hits, 3 runs, all of those earned, 4 walks against 11 strikeouts, posting a 1.9 ERA. So Daniel, a very solid start to his summer. He pitched in last night's game, making just 2 outs, giving up 1 hit, 1 run, that run earned, and a walk. Well, he comes into a tough situation. The runners on first, second, and third will all be the responsibility of Jason Fink, but it'll be Daniel's job to keep it to a 3-0 ball game. Noah Wiggins will be the batter for the Zap. Well, the Zap with an opportunity to possibly break this one open early in the ball game. Well, Noah Wiggins worked a walk in his first at-bat. He came around to score on the wild pitch from Fink. It looked like he might have been a little bit hurt at the plate, but staying in this ball game. Jackson mixed the runner off third. Emiliano Curiel off second. Tyler Hoffman off first. Daniels first offering a slider that misses outside as the count goes 1-0 on Noah Wiggins. Well, nowhere to put Wiggins. 1-0 the count. The pitch. Fastball. Wiggins out ahead of it. Goes straight up into the air. Parker Burt behind the plate fighting the sun, and he can't make the play. The ball will drop for a foul ball. A little bit of a fist pump there from Noah Wiggins as he stays in the at-bat. The count now 1-1. Well, that doesn't... We'll see if it goes down as an error. It'll be interesting to see how our baseball ops guy, Nick St. Peter, scores that one, as it was in foul territory. Keeps Noah Wiggins in the at-bat, but that's a play you expect your catcher in Parker Burt to be able to make. 1-1 now, the count on Wiggins. Daniels pitch, the breaking ball, misses off the outside corner as he falls behind 2-1 in the count. Well, Wiggins, with his walk back in the first, now has 17 on the season. Looks like Josh Phillips playing a little bit in at first. He's playing very far from the bag. Hoffman, a big lead off first. Well, no one to hold him on as the 2-1 pitch hit on the ground left side. Schlotterback charges, goes to second for 1. On to first, not in time. Jackson Mix comes around to score the game's 4th run. So Noah Wiggins picks up the RBI on the fielder's choice. He now stands off of first. Advancing to third is Emiliano Curiel. Runners on the corners with one man out. The Zap with a 4-0 lead, and that brings up Buck Snabs. Well, Snaps has already driven in a run in this ballgame. A single ground ball that got through the right side. Hits that one well out towards left field. Racing back is Marsick. Racing back is Reeves, and neither of them will get to it. The ball falls in the left center field gap. Noah Wiggins is being held at third as the throw comes in, so Wiggins holds up, and wisely so. He likely would have been thrown out, but Buck Snabs drives in yet another runner. Emiliano Curiel coming around to score as the Zap out to a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the second inning. Well, Buck Snaps, we had the player spotlight on him earlier in this ballgame. A single and a double driven in 2 runs in his first 2 at-bats. You can see why. Fastball misses outside to Jacob Trusner. Well, big spot for Trusner in a 5-0 ballgame. 1 out, the infield stays back. A ball on the grounds will score a run, which is going to be crucial here for the Zap. Trusner out ahead of the 1-0 pitch as the count goes 1-1. You can never have too big of a lead on the Casper Spuds. They have a dangerous lineup hitting over 300 as a team at the plate. So the Zap going to try and tack on every run they can here. Trusner takes a breaking ball in there for strike 2. 1-2 now the count on Jacob Trusner. Noah Wiggins the runner off second. Wiggins off of third. Snabs off of second. Phillips continues to play far from the first base bag. Trusner fouls that one back to stay alive. 1-2 in the count. Well, the Zap putting on a show for what has been their best crowd of the season. We'll wait for some official attendance numbers, but it looks like, I would say, at least 500 folks in attendance. The 1-2 from Daniel, that one just misses outside. It's been a tight zone from our home plate umpire to this point. The count now 2-2 on Trusner. Well, Trusner, a couple of long balls on the season. He's driven in 10 runs to this point. 2-2 fastball lifted in the air center field. Elijah Reeves settles under it. Wiggins tagging from third. He's going to try. Well, he's going to bluff as the throw was, well, it was all right from Elijah Reeves. It pulled Parker Burt off the line. Wiggins likely would have been able to score. But the Zap have already seen the arm of Elijah Reeves in center field earlier this year in the bottom of the 10th inning a couple weeks ago here at Hyde Stadium. Reeves threw out Trey Martin at home. Martin would have won the ball game for the Zap if he was safe. Instead, it went to 11 innings where the Spuds would go on to win. Mason Lang, the batter, with 2 men out and 2 runners in scoring position, takes that one for strike 1. Lang grounded out to third in his first at-bat. Big spot here for the Zap as he hits that one left side. Schlotterback fields, falls down over in shallow left field, so Mason Lang will reach. Noah Wiggins comes around to score. It'll likely go down as a base hit for Mason Lang, but the Zap extending their lead to 6-0 here in the bottom of the second. It would have been a tough play for Dylan Schlotterback regardless, as he was already a step into the outfield grass. That was likely why he slipped, perhaps just losing his footing on the grass out there. Well, here comes the 9th batter of the inning for the Oahe Zap in Mike Monham. After that, it would be Will Calcaterra to make his second plate appearance of the inning. Runners on the corners, 2 men out. Zap with a 6-0 lead. Monham first pitch swinging, hits it well out to left field. Marsick going back. He won't get it. That ball lands and will go to the wall. 1 run will score. Here comes Mason Lang. He will score. The Zap with a 6-run barrage in the bottom of the second inning. Mike Monham, a clutch 2-out hit, gives the Zap an 8-0 lead. So the Oahe Zap lead 8-0. Brings up Will Calcaterra. Mike Monum all over the first pitch fastball from Brennan Daniel. Matt Marsick was playing relatively shallow in left field. It went out to the 383 sign where the center field wall meets the left field wall here at Hyde Stadium. Now Calcaterra, for his second at-bat of the inning, takes that pitch down in the dirt. The count goes 1-0. Well, 2 runs in the bottom of the first, now 6 here in the bottom of the second, makes it an 8-0 ball game. Calcaterra was hit by a pitch to lead off the inning, takes that one outside as the count goes 2-0. Well, what a performance in front of this record crowd here for the Oahe Zap. 2-0 the count on Calcaterra. Daniel looking in for the sign from Parker Burt. Monum, a relatively big lead off of second. 2-0 pitch. That one lifted in the air, shallow right field, going into foul territory. Josh Phillips makes a basket catch over his shoulder, and that will end the bottom of the second inning. Fantastic play from Josh Phillips ranging into foul territory. But the Oahe Zap scores 6 runs in the bottom of the second, capped off by a Mike Monum double out towards the left center field wall. Zap lead 8-0 after 2 innings of play. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? VWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined?
The Zap with an 8-0 lead here in the top of the third inning. An offensive outburst over the first 2 as Aiden Johnson back on the mound for his third inning of work. So Johnson will face the top of the Spuds order, and he'll try and keep them off the scoreboard early in this one. Elijah Reeves, Cody Clausius, and Dylan Schlotterback will lead off the inning for the Spuds. Seeing down in the comments section some corrections. We had some changes since we received the starting lineup, so we'll try and update you on the Spuds out in the field once we get the information. As Johnson misses well out in front of home plate on the first pitch. Count goes 1-0 on Elijah Reeves. Well, Reeves was hit as the first batter of the game for the Casper Spuds, but Johnson would leave 2 stranded in the top of the first. That one, a weird motion from our home plate umpire. I'm not sure if it was called a strike. Let's see when he signals and strikes here. He stepped back. An interesting hand motion. Well, the count either 2-0 or 1-1 as that pitch from Johnson misses low. So we believe the count is 3-0 now on Elijah Reeves. Well, Reeves has either walked or been hit by a pitch in 12 of his last 15 at-bats, takes that one for a strike as the count goes 3-1. Reeves taking all the way on that pitch. Now Johnson comes home with the 3-1 and misses low and away, so Elijah Reeves works a walk. Well, now 13 of his last 16 plate appearances have been walks or hit by a pitch. He has now walked 22 times this season, as that brings up Cody Clausius. Well, Clausius flew out to center, was first pitch swinging in his first at-bat, back in the first inning.
You come in for Chase Burke. He's pitch hitting for Chase Burke.
Jump off first from Reeves, but doesn't go as Aiden Johnson misses down in the dirt. The count goes 1-0. Well, Clausius hitting .367 coming into this ballgame will dip a little bit after his first at-bat. As that pitch gets by Will Calcaterra, it went under the feet of the home plate umpire. Calcaterra couldn't find the baseball. Well, Reeves will stop at second, advancing on what will likely be a passed ball. Definitely catchable for Zap catcher Will Calcaterra. Count now 2-0 on Cody Clausius. Well, the Zap shifting the big lefty, Cody Clausius. Buck Snabs pretty much playing up the middle. Tyler Hoffman playing further right than usual. Johnson looks back at the runner. Now the 2-0 breaking ball. That one lifted high in the air, shallow left field. Wiggins runs in, fighting the sun in the outfield, makes the play. Cody Clausius upset after that one. He had a pitch to hit. It was a breaking ball that hung over the plate, but the big hack just caught a little bit under the baseball, sent it a mile high, but he's retired for the first out of the inning.
Shortstop and beer batter, number 31, Dylan Schlotterback. Beer batter.
Well, that will now bring up Dylan Schlotterback. Schlotterback hitting .378 with runners in scoring position, has Elijah Reeves off second. One out here in the top of the third inning. Zap leading 8-0. That one hit on the ground toward short. Buck Snabs fields, fires across the diamond. In time, Elijah Reeves wisely advancing on the ground ball, as there's now 2 outs here in the top of the third inning.
First baseman, number 39, Josh Phillips. Oh, man, Rickroll would be awesome in this game.
So Josh Phillips will step in. Phillips flew out to Noah Wiggins in left field back in the first inning. Having some words here with Zap catcher Will Calcaterra. Looks to be friendly.
Don't let this guy hit a dinger.
Elijah Reeves, the runner off third. 2 outs. And Phillips takes down and in. 1-0 goes the count. Well, Phillips hitting .400 on the season. Angel Escobar, who is suspended through Sunday, gave a little report on Phillips. He said, keep it low and away and keep Phillips off balance at the plate. The 1-0 pitch misses up and away. 2-0 goes the count. Well, there's an open spot at first, but in an 8-run ball game, Johnson perhaps would feel a little more free to attack the dangerous lefty. Misses inside with that one as the count goes 3-0. Well, we already saw that Matt Marsick was first pitch swinging on a 3-0 count back in the second. Let's see if Josh Phillips is doing the same. The pitch from Johnson, breaking ball hit a mile high into left field. Wiggins comes over towards the line, and no one makes the play. No call if it's fair or foul. And the home plate umpire is calling it a foul ball. Well, Snabs and Wiggins made contact. Honestly, it looked like it was in fair territory on the left field foul line, but they're going to call Josh Phillips back to the batter's box as manager James Bannon is going to come out to argue this call. Wiggins and Snabs made contact in fair territory. That's where the ball hit them. Looks to be a little bit of a break for the Oahe Zap. Well, Bannon has already argued a couple of calls, and he's heated out there. You know, he's not afraid to make his voice heard. We'll see how much tolerance the home plate umpire has for this, as he is way up in his face. Well, Batten perhaps a little frustrated by the fact that the Spuds are down 8-0 in this ball game. He's continuing to argue out there. Yesterday he argued a call at second base. He thought Noah Wiggins came in with an illegal slide. Well, he'll stay in this ballgame and head back to the dugout. The count goes 3-1 on Josh Phillips. And now he's going to call it a fair ball. How can you do that? So James Baden's argument apparently worked on the home plate umpire, and that's going to bring out the Zap manager, Jamie Haberger. You know, you don't think that arguing a call would usually work for a manager. The home plate umpire had initially signaled foul. He hadn't even communicated with his field umpire, and all by himself he made the decision to overturn the call simply because James Baden came out to argue. So Haberger is waiting for the umpires to make their decision. And now Haberger's going to talk to the home plate umpire. It's just, you don't think that a manager arguing would get a call overturned like that. He had not communicated with the field umpire. Sometimes if a manager asks, the two umpires will then talk with each other. And if the field umpire saw something that the home plate umpire didn't, that would cause them to change the call. However, they had not met yet, but the home plate umpire, I don't know what to say. Perhaps he was intimidated by Baden. I mean, changing the call simply because the manager coming out to argue is not something you usually see. Well, now the ball game 8-1, 2 outs here in the top of the third inning. Josh Phillips, the runner on first. Jackson grounds that one right side. Sliding play by Hoffman goes to first. Nice play by Jacob Trusner off the first base bag. So 1 run is all the Casper Spuds will get. Tyler Hoffman's been terrific at second base for the Zap so far tonight. It's an 8-1 ball game heading into the bottom of the third inning. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
VWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? VWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout.
Zap lead by a score of 8-1 as we enter the bottom of the third inning. So a little bit of an interesting call from the home plate umpire. Let's put it at that. He initially called it a foul ball. Now, it did look like it was a fair ball on the left field line. Initially called foul, he changed the decision to a fair ball after James Baden came out to argue. There was no conference with his field umpire, so not something you normally see from a home plate umpire. And that allows the first run of the game to score for the Casper Spuds. Well, regardless, the score now 8-1. 8-9-1 for the Zap. It'll be Jackson Mix to lead it off. Mix breaking an 0-for-10 streak with a single back in the bottom of the second inning. His single would load the bases with no one out. Takes that pitch outside from Brennan Daniel as the count goes 1-0. So it'll be a bullpen day for the Casper Spuds after Jason Fink went just 1 inning. The 1-0 to Mix checked his swing, called for a strike nonetheless, so the count evens up at 1-1. Jackson Mix hitting .245 coming into this ballgame. Couple of home runs on the season, one of which came at the Casper Stadium as Mix fouls that back 1-2. Mike Lansing Field over in Casper, Wyoming. It was a leadoff home run for the Zap. So Daniel trying to settle in after a shaky first inning of work. Mix chases that one down in the dirt, strikes out swinging for the first out of the inning. And that brings up Emiliano Curiel. Well, Curiel 1 for 1 on the day. Pardon, it was his single back in the second that loaded the bases, as Jackson Mix was the second batter of that inning. Now Daniel comes home with the first pitch, and that one hits Emiliano Curiel in the shoulder. Well, this is already the fourth time the Oahe Zap have been hit by a pitch in this ballgame. Now, it was a breaking ball from Brennan Daniel. Looked like it just got away from him a little bit. Absolutely no intent behind that pitch. But a runner on first with one out, as that brings up Tyler Hoffman. Well, Hoffman has been hit by two of those four pitches now. One in the first inning, one in the second. Hoffman with some words with the Spuds catcher Parker Burt before the at-bat. Now he'll step in. Hoffman hitting .339 coming into this ball game, as the breaking ball hit on the ground towards second. Possible double play ball to short for one, on to first. 4-6-3 double play. Well, after a hit by pitch, Brennan Daniel works his way out of the bottom of the third inning very quickly. The Zap lead by a score of 8-1. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at Ticketsmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter. A proud partner to the biggest names in live sports and events, including ESPN events and iHeartRadio. Ticket Smarter has seats for over 125,000 live events and 48 million tickets for sale. All backed with the Ticket Smarter 100% ticket guarantee. Thinking about your next great live event? Think smarter. Think Ticket Smarter. Get your tickets your way, guaranteed, at Ticketsmarter.com. Great seats at a great price. Get them safer, simpler, and smarter with Ticket Smarter.
Well, a quick inning for the Zap at the plate as they go down in the minimum three hitters after Tyler Hoffman grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. Aiden Johnson back out for the top of the fourth inning. He gave up one run in the third on what will end up going down as a base hit off the bat of Dylan Schlotterback. Excuse me, a base hit from Josh Phillips. Wesley Flatt leads off the top of the fourth inning, takes that pitch just outside for ball one. Yeah, interesting to see the home plate umpire backs away from every pitch. It's definitely interesting tactics. 1-0 pitch hit well out towards center field. Emiliano Curiel won't be able to get there. Wesley Flatt takes a big turnaround first, but he'll stay there as Curiel gets the ball in. Runner on first with no one out in the top of the fourth. That brings up Matt Marsick. Well, Marsick worked a walk back in the second inning, but he'd be stranded as Johnson struck out Stocking and Burt following that at-bat. So the leadoff man on for the third time in this ballgame for the Casper Spuds as Matt Marsick took the curveball high. Count now 1-0. Runner goes from first pitch down in the dirt. Throw down from Calcaterra is a little high on Buck Snabs, which allows Wesley Flatt to slide in safely. 17th stolen base of the summer for Flatt. Now takes the Independence League lead in stolen bases by himself. The count 2-0 on Marsick. Zap shift on once again. Hoffman to his right. Buck Snabs just about a step to the left of second base. The 2-0 pitch Misses outside 3-0. Well, Aiden Johnson trying to avoid his fourth walk of the ball game. It'll be a 3-0 pitch to Matt Marsick. He was already swinging 3-0 once in this ball game. Takes that one for a strike this time as the count goes 3-1. Well, the Spuds have shown a willingness to swing the bat in the 3-0 count. Now 3-1 on Marsick. Johnson looks back at the runner on second, now comes home as that pitch looks like it was called a strike. No motion from our home plate umpire, but he calls it for a strike. The count goes full on Marsick. A little bit of confusion. Usually you see some sort of motion from the home plate umpire. Now the 3-2 pitch. That one just misses inside. Well, Aiden Johnson had battled back from 3-0 to 3-2, but eventually loses Matt Marsick his second walk of the ballgame, the fourth that Aiden Johnson has given up to this point. As that brings up Chandler Stocking. Stocking, a strikeout victim back in the second inning. Runners on first and second with no one out here for the Casper Spuds. Johnson comes set, looks back at the runner on second. Checks once again. Now the pitch, breaking ball, is popped up off the bat of Stocking, and Will Calcaterra will catch it to make the play. So Stocking squared to bunt, but got under it on the curveball from Johnson. So that's the first out of the inning. Nice play from Will Calcaterra behind the plate. Popped up, found the ball, and an easy play for the catcher. Now one out with runners on first and second, as that will bring up Parker Burt. So we'll see if Burt squares to bunt once again here for the Spuds, as he's hitting just 125 on the season. Curveball from Johnson, a swing and a miss. Burt chasing down in the dirt. Count 0-1. Parker Burt struck out back in the second inning, an inning in which Johnson struck out 3. Those are his only 3 strikeouts of the night. Now the 0-1 pitch misses high as the count goes 1-1. Burt will call time. Looks like he'll readjust his elbow guard. Well, Wesley Flatt, the runner off second. Matt Marsick, the runner off first. Both runners have tremendous speed on the base paths. A little bit of a reverse shift here on Parker Burt as Tyler Hoffman now playing towards second. Well, he'll retreat after the pitch comes home. Count goes 2-1. Tyler Hoffman just trying to hold on Wesley Flatt at second. Two and one the count. Johnson looks in at the target from Calcaterra. Fastball hit well out towards left field. That ball gets down for a base hit. Noah Wiggins fields quickly and comes in to keep the runner put at third in Wesley Flatt. But the base is now loaded with one man out, and that brings up the top of the Spuds order in Wesley Flatt. Elijah Reeves. Well, Reeves has been hit by a pitch in the first inning, worked a walk in the third. The Spuds trying to dig out of what is now a 7-run hold. The Zap with an 8-1 lead here in the top of the fourth inning. Big opportunity, though. Bases loaded, one man out. The corners come in for the Zap in Jackson Mix at third and Jacob Trusner at first. Johnson's first offering to Reeves, a fastball right over the heart of the plate for strike one. Well, looks like the Spuds had the bullpen up. We might get a relief pitcher in for Brennan Daniel in the bottom of the fourth. That is yet to be seen now. The 0-1 pitch to Reeves. That one just misses below the knees as the count evens up at 1-1. Well, Elijah Reeves this season hitting just .235 with runners in scoring position. It's been one of his few struggles for the Spuds so far this year. The 1-1 fastball misses low as the count goes 2-1.
Come on. Make him earn it. Don't walk him.
Well, you wonder if the home plate umpire sometimes sees the pitch at the knees a little bit low in the way that he steps back from home plate. It'll be a 2-1 on the way from Johnson. Pitch. That one hit well out towards left field. Wiggins won't be able to catch it. A good jump from Matt Marsick. The relay throw to the plate is not in time. A 2-run single from Elijah Reeves. The Casper Spuds have cut the deficit to 5. It's now an 8-3 ball game. Well, Matt Marsick off of second read that ball falling down in left field the whole way. Got into a quick sprint, no hesitation there. That allowed him to score from second. That will bring up Cody Clausius with one man out, but first Zap manager Jamie Haberger will come out for a quick talk with Aiden Johnson. Jake Hutter looks like he'll begin warming up down in the Zap bullpen. But he hasn't gotten loose quite yet. Johnson will surely stay in this ball game. He's given up 4 hits, but 4 walks and a hit by pitch have done just as much damage. 3 runs in right now in the top of the 4th inning. 1 out, runners on first and second base. And so Calcaterra and Haberger will exit from the mound. Cody Clossie is 0 for 2 on the day. Flew out to center field in the first, flew out to left field back in the third. Well, Clausius, so it'll be a righty-lefty matchup in a big spot with runners on first and second, 2 already in the top of the 4th. Johnson will check back on the runner at second, and he just gets back safely. They almost had Parker Burt on the pickoff attempt back at second base. Johnson continuing to check back the runner now comes home as that pitch hit high in the air. Cody Clausius very frustrated. Tyler Hoffman settles under it out in center field to make the play. Clausius another pitch to hit, but continuing to get under the baseball as there's now 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning.
Shortstop, number 31, your beer batter, Dylan Schlotterback.
We've already seen that a couple of times from Clausius. The lefty has just missed under the baseball. He's had good pitches to hit in all 3 of his at-bats, yet he remains 0 for 3 on the day. That brings up Dylan Schlotterback. Schlotterback a walk in the first, grounded out to short in the third. He's hitting .378 this summer with runners in scoring position. Parker Burt the runner off second, big lead. Tyler Hoffman creeping in to hold him on. The breaking ball misses high. Looked like it escaped Johnson's hand just a little bit early there as the count 1-0. Trusner not holding on Elijah Reeves at first, so he can take just about as big of a lead as he pleases. Trusner continuing to creep behind Burt at second base. The 1-0 fastball misses down and in. Count goes 2-0. Well, you have to pitch to Dylan Schlotterback here if you're Aiden Johnson. You have Josh Phillips on deck, whose 2-run home run last night broke the tie from 5-5, gave the Spuds a 7-5 lead. And the home plate umpire will call time. Well, the Zap scored 8 runs in the first and second innings. The Spuds with 1 of their own in the third and 2 now in the top of the 4th. That's where we're at. 2-0 the count on Schlotterback. As that pitch misses high, the count goes 3-0. Well, Johnson in a dangerous spot here. He's 1 pitch away from loading the bases for Josh Phillips with 2 outs. But Schlotterback has some power of his own. He's already hit 2 long balls so far this year. As we've seen, he'll likely have the green light. The 3-0 pitch. Fastball, Schlotterback had the green light, but fouls that one away as the count goes 3-1.
That's Larkspur Lane events at the foul ball.
when it looks like that might have hit a little girl over here in the Hyde Stadium crowd. So a lot of folks going to go check and see if she's all right. Play will resume on the field in a 3-1 count. We hope everyone's all right in the crowd, as we'll hopefully get our folks from Avera to tend to her. Now the 3-1 fastball hit on the ground. That ball will get through the left side past the diving Buck Snabs. Coming home is Parker Burt. The throw, well, it was unclear if it was coming into Jackson Mix or if it was coming home, but regardless, Burt will come around to score. The Casper Spuds have cut an 8-run deficit in half, as it's now an 8-4 ball game. Dylan Schlotterback with the RBI knock, and that brings up Josh Phillips with runners on first and second.
First baseman, number 39, Josh Phillips.
Schlotterback's 29th run batted in so far this season. Well, runners on first and second now. It's an 8-4 ball game. We'll see how Johnson deals with Phillips here, as that one misses up and away. Count 1-0 on Josh Phillips. Elijah Reeves, the runner off second. Dylan Schlotterback, the runner off first. Both with double-digit steals on the year. Phillips flies that ball into deep left field. Wiggins racing back at the track, reaches over his head and makes the play, running into the wall. A heck of a play from Noah Wiggins. Saves any further damage here in the top of the fourth inning. Aiden Johnson gets out of trouble, but 3 runs already in off of 4 hits and 1 walk. Coming into the bottom of the fourth inning, the Zap lead by a score of 8-4. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Today.
That could have been much worse. That could have been so much worse.
What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get...
Well, despite some motion in the Spuds bullpen, Brendan Daniel will stay in the game, at least for now, as he'll face the heart of the Zap lineup, 2, 3, and 4, Noah Wiggins, Buck Snabs, and Jacob Trusner. Well, the bottom of the third, the first inning in which the Zap didn't get on the board. It was a strikeout for Jackson Mix. Emiliano Curiel was hit by a pitch, but Tyler Hoffman grounding into a 4-6-3 double play. Well, Noah Wiggins has been having a fantastic night so far. He made the play to end the top half of the fourth inning. If that ball lands in left field, it's possible that at least 1, if not 2 runs come around to score. He sort of stuck his glove out above his head and caught the ball. It was a well-hit ball to the opposite field off the bat of Josh Phillips. But Wiggins with the terrific play to limit the Spuds to 3 runs in the inning. It's now an 8-4 ball game. Wiggins, a walk in the first, picked up an RBI as he grounded into a fielder's choice back in the second, a part of the Zap's 6-run inning. Hits that one softly on the ground towards second. Fielding is flat, goes to first for the easy out.
That brings up your shortstop, number 35,
Well, now it looks like we're going to get a little bit of a correction out there in the field for the Spuds. We have Chandler Stocking at second. Looks like Wesley Flatt at third. So 1 out brings up Buck Snabs. Snabs chasing that one down and away. The count goes 0-1. Well, Snabs so far 2 for 2, a single in the first, a double in the second, drove in runs on both occasions. The 0-1 from Daniel, Snabs out ahead of that one, just off the end of the bat as the count goes 0-2. Well, Snabs eager at the plate. You can understand why after what has been quite a productive night to this point. Just has to wait a little bit more on the breaking ball. Count now 0-2. Daniel deals. That one swung on and missed. Well, Buck Snabs down on 3 pitches. Second strikeout of the appearance for Brennan Daniel. And that brings up Jacob Trusner. Trusner 0 for 2 today. He's the only Zap hitter that hasn't reached base. Takes that one down and away for ball 1. Trusner popped up to second in the first, flew out to center field in the second. Now the 1-0 from Daniel. Breaking ball misses low. The count 2-0. So the number we got was 674 tickets were sold here at Hyde Stadium. And boy, you can tell it is a packed powerhouse here tonight. Trusner chasing that one as the count goes 2-1. And so we'll await word on an official number as people might continue to pile into the ballpark, but already an Oahe Zap record, over 600 fans in attendance. It is absolutely awesome to see. The count now 3-1. Well, tonight, of course, free Friday, so free general admission tickets. In addition, it's Chislick night for the Zap as they're selling Chislick here at Hyde Stadium. Trusner waves at that one as the count goes full, 3-2 with 2 outs, no one on base. Jake Hutter warming up in the Zap bullpen. He'll likely come in the top of the 5th inning. 3-2 pitches, skied in the air. Calling it off at shortstop is Schlotterback. Settles under it and makes the play. 1-2-3 inning for Brennan Daniel keeps the Zap put at 8 runs. They lead 8-4 after 4 innings of play. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week. This really matters to businesses and industries who want to hire you. In just over a year, you'll be ready for the professional workforce and with a lot less debt. Imagine starting your new life today by learning and earning. DWU's Learn and Earn program. Give us a shout today. What if you could earn cash while you go to school? Seriously? What if college came to you, right where you live? How about getting your own personal career coach? What if college education was completely reimagined? DWU's Learn and Earn is not your usual program because you get real-world, hands-on experiences. No papers, no lectures, no tests. Get paid working at your internship a few days a week.
So Aiden Johnson returns to the game for the top of the 5th inning. He'll face Raphael Jackson to lead it off here for the Spuds. Jackson takes the pitch outside as the count goes 1-0. Well, Jackson 0 for 2 on the day to this point. Fouls that one off as he is behind in the count now. Excuse me, count evens up at 1-1. So the 1-1 pitch, that one hit hard out towards right field. Drifting over is Mike Monham to make the play. Looks like Jackson just missed it. The ball seemed to jump off his bat. Maybe a little bit of nerves from Aiden Johnson, but Monham, a step in from the warning track, makes the play. You never know. Last night, if he had the headwinds going out towards right field, maybe it would have had the distance, but most definitely not tonight. As Hunter Billingsley looks to make his first plate appearance of the night for the Casper Spuds. So Billingsley will pinch hit for Wesley Flatt. Flatt 1 for 2 today, a strikeout in the second, a single in the fourth. Third time through the order for Johnson as he misses just below the knees of Flatt. And well, that could have been what was troubling him back in the 4th inning. Elijah Reeves a base hit in his third plate appearance. Dylan Schlatter back an RBI single in what was his third at-bat. As that one swung on and missed, Hunter Billingsley out ahead of the breaking ball. Count even at 1-1 on Billingsley. So Wesley Flatt 1 for 2 on the day before exiting. He'll split time with Billingsley. It's again a tight strike zone from our home plate umpire tonight. That one looked like it might have caught the inside corner, but called inside for ball 2. The count now 2-1 on Billingsley. That one fouled away into Capitol Avenue as the count evens up at 2-2. Well, Billingsley hitting .263 coming into this ballgame, getting on base at a clip of .408. Count even at 2-2. Johnson trying to make himself eligible for a win, and he strikes out Hunter Billingsley. A wave and a miss at the breaking ball. Billingsley chases outside, will hand his bat off to Matt Marsick as there's now 2 outs here in the top of the 5th. So Johnson, after giving up a 3 spot in the top of the 4th inning, doing a very nice job of settling back in the 5th as he's retired the first 2 hitters. Well, Matt Marsick has walked in both of his plate appearances, takes that pitch for strike 1. Marsick now 13 walks on the summer, improving upon a .376 batting average coming into this ballgame. Pops that one up, shallow left field. Buck Snabs going out from short to make the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Aiden Johnson, who's now eligible for the win. He leaves the game after the top of the 5th. An 8-4 lead for the Oahe Zap. As we continue through this ballgame, you're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the fifth inning, Hamilton Moy on to pitch for the Casper Spuds. The Zap leading by a score of 8-4 coming into this one. Well, 8 runs through the first 2 innings. The Spuds then cutting the lead in half, or cutting their deficit in half, as it's now an 8-4 ball game. The Zap 8 runs on just 6 hits. The Spuds 4 runs on 5 hits. Neither side has committed an error to this point, depending on how the Parker Burt play behind the plate was scored. It was a pop in the air from Noah Wiggins. It's a play you would generally expect Burt to make. So we'll see if that one will go down as an error for the Spuds. Mason Lang leads off the inning for the Zap. Brennan Daniel working a 1-2-3 bottom of the fourth as Lang takes that one low and away for ball 1. Well, Lang 1 for 2 on the day. He drove in a run on a base hit in the second inning. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses outside from Moy as the count goes 2-0. Well, Hamilton Moy, the kid out of the Southwestern Assemblies of God, has thrown 8 times this summer. Lang chops that one high in the air. Phillips charges in to catch it on the hop and steps on first for the first out of the inning. Moy, as we were just saying, Southwestern Assemblies of God, has thrown 17 1/3 innings this summer, a 3.64 ERA, 12 strikeouts to just 3 walks, so a nice 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. And that brings up Mike Monham with 1 out. Fastball in on the hands of Monham, grounded to short, but that one gets under the glove of Dylan Schlotterback. So that will be the first error of the game for the Casper Spuds. Allows Mike Monham to reach. And that brings up Will Calcaterra. Calcaterra was hit by a pitch back in his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1 on the day. Hits that one on the ground slowly towards second. Going to be a tough play for Flack. Goes to first for the out. Advancing to second is Mike Monham. Looks like, once again, we got Chandler Stocking over at second. Hunter Billingsley coming into the game at third for the Casper Spuds. Well, a runner in scoring position now for Jackson Mix, as the Spuds unable to get the force at second, as it was a slowly hit ground ball off the bat of Calcaterra. Well, Mix 1 for 2 on the day, a single and a strikeout. As that one misses down in the dirt, the count goes 1-0. So Mike Monham takes his lead off second. Schlotterback playing behind him. He hasn't been holding him on to this point. Just a step in from the outfield grass as that pitch misses beneath the knees of Jackson Mix. Count goes 2-0. So the Zap looking to add on some insurance runs. They lead by 4 right now. Moy looking back at second, now comes home with the 2-0. That one roped into center field, coming on Elijah Reeves as he makes the catch, off balance play, but he stays on his feet. That's the 3rd out of the inning, so the Oahe Zap strand the runner on second, and Mike Monham failed to get on the scoreboard in the bottom of the 5th. They lead 8-4. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Back in the top of the sixth inning, it's Jake Hutter to come on in relief of Aiden Johnson for the Oahe Zap. Let's take a look at Hutter's stats so far this year. In 12 appearances, he's gone 19 2/3 innings, posting an 0-1 record, a 3.2 ERA, a very low whip below 1, and a nice strikeout to walk ratio at 14-3. As we enter the top of the sixth inning, I'm so happy to be joined by Ron Baumgard, the Executive Director of River Cities Public Transit. River Cities Public Transit, the sponsor for today's game. And so, Ron, can you tell us what the mission of River Cities Public Transit is?
Well, it's to provide safe rides for individuals in, basically central South Dakota area. We operate 24 hours a day here in the Fort Pierre area. Been doing that for a long time.
And so leading off the inning here for the Casper Spuds is Matt Marsick. Looks like we got Chandler Stocking, who takes that pitch for a strike. The count now 0-1. Pitch from Hutter. That one hit out well towards right field, but right at Mike Monham. A sharp line out for Chandler Stocking. Jake Hutter's retired as first hitter. And so, Ron, just to continue, so how do you specialize your services to help people with disabilities and both elderly people as well?
Well, first of all, we're open to all public and all ages, but we are equipped to handle individuals with disabilities, whether it be a walker or a wheelchair or whatever, to get them where they need to go. Medical appointments, work, social events, whatever the case may be.
Gotcha. And so how is the River Cities Public Transit involved here within the peer community?
We try to, just like this, we love sponsoring and being part of the community. We've been here since 1999, I guess, and have gotten more active in the community in the last few years and try to be supporting of different events.
Yeah, that's fantastic, and the Oahe Zap really appreciate you guys coming into this ball game. The count's now gone 3-0 on Parker Burt. Jake Hutter, well, our home plate umpire hasn't always signaled that it's been a strike to this point in this ball game, but it looks like the count goes 3-1 on Burt. Now Hutter with the 3-1 pitch. That one hit on in the air out towards right field. Mike Monham racing over towards the right field foul line, but the ball will go foul as the count goes 3-2. South Dakota, what makes those areas so important to cover with your company?
There's really not an area that isn't. I mean, every small community, large community have individuals that need those rides, don't have cars, need help getting to Sioux Falls, Rapid City for medical appointments. So it's just
now retired the first two hitters. You know, once again we see the home plate umpire. There was no strike three looking signal. Thought that Burt was going to head on down to first as Elijah Reeves fouls that one off. And so, Ron, just to finish it up, so why have you chosen to come support the Oahe Zap here today?
Well, certainly this is, they've been here 2 years. We want to, look at the people here tonight having fun and the kids having fun.
That one hit on the ground through the left side for a base hit. Sorry to cut you off there, right, Ron. Elijah Reeves, 2-out hit.
No, it's just it's a great thing to sponsor this. Look at the kids having fun. It's a good family event. We just want to be part of that.
Absolutely. And have you been having a good time at the ballpark here today?
I've enjoyed it a lot. Get to see some people that I don't see when you're just in the...
Elijah Reeves heading down to second on a ball that just got away from Will Calcaterra. Reeves perhaps thought that one might have gone past Calcaterra, but maybe just a little mishandled. But with his speed, he's in there at second safely. The count now 1-0 on Cody Clausius. Well, you picked a good one. You know, the Zap getting out to a quick 8-0 lead. But the Spuds battling back here, so we got a good ball game going on.
We sure do. Thank you for letting us be here and talk a little bit about our services.
That ball hits sharply to second. Hoffman goes to first, and that will do it. A scoreless first inning of work for Jake Hutter. Ron Baumgart, thank you so much for coming up and joining me on the call. And I want to thank River Cities Public Transit for sponsoring this game.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, that will do it for the top of the sixth inning. Zap lead 8-4. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Hyde Stadium. The Zap with an 8-4 lead over the Casper Spuds. Leading it off for the Oahe Zap, it'll be Emiliano Curiel here in the bottom of the 6th inning.
The center fielder, number 21, Emiliano Curiel.
Curiel 1 for 1. Curiel 1 for 1 was hit by a pitch back in the 3rd inning. So he'll step in here. Hamilton Moy back on the mound for the Casper Spuds. Got out of a clean bottom of the 5th inning. One runner reaching on an error by the shortstop Dylan Schlotterback as Emiliano Curiel swings through the first pitch down in the dirt. The count now 0-1. Now the 0-1 pitch. Fastball is chopped foul as the count goes to 0-2. Well, after a rocky start from Jason Fink, the Spuds have settled in on the mound. A couple of good innings from Brennan Daniel, although he initially struggled as he came into the ballgame in the second. Curiel fouling that one off to stay alive in an 0-2 count. And then Hamilton Moy threw a flawless first inning. Now 0-2 the count on Emiliano Curiel. Moy comes home to the plate. Curiel hits that one softly towards center field, but Elijah Reeves was in good positioning, was playing in on Curiel, takes a couple of steps in, makes a jumping catch out in center field for the first out of the inning, and that will bring up Tyler Hoffman. Well, once again, we got a rainbow here at Hyde Stadium. Had one last night. Last night we were dodging some thunderstorms throughout the ball game. The rain ended up hitting Pierre a little bit later in the night. Tonight, no rain in the forecast, yet still a rainbow. Always nice to see. Tyler Hoffman will hit. He's 0 for 1, was hit by a couple of pitches, and takes the breaking ball low and away for ball 1. One and 0 the count on Hoffman as Hyde Stadium. It's continued, as people have continued to flow in throughout this ball game. The count 2-0. Some folks that might get off a little bit late on a Friday evening continuing to flow in, as there is not much room behind home plate in the general admissions section, where it is free tonight, and that has paid dividends in terms of attendance, as that pitch hits Tyler Hoffman once again. So Tyler Hoffman throws his bat away. He's now been hit by a pitch in 3 different at-bats so far tonight. He'll be the base runner with one man out as Noah Wiggins will step to the plate. Well, Noah Wiggins, he's 0 for 2 today. Did drive in a run back in the second, worked a walk in the first. He came around to score after his walk on a wild pitch. Looked like he might have hurt his left arm on that one, but stayed in the ball game. Takes that pitch. Well, we don't really know if it's a ball or a strike. It looked like it was over the zone, but no signal from our home plate umpire. So the count is either 0-1 or 1-0. We'll find out for you at some point. Hoffman leads off first, 5 for 8 on his stolen base attempts this year. The 1-0 pitch, Wiggins chases at that one, perhaps fouled it off the end of his bat as Hoffman stays at first. The count goes to 1-1. Well, neither team has scored since the 4th inning. I mean, this Spuds lineup has put up at least 10 runs in every game they've played against the Zap so far this season. They've beat the Zap in all 7 times they've faced off. Zap looking to end that streak here tonight. That one gets away from Parker Burt. The pitch inside on Noah Wiggins. Hoffman advances down to second as the count goes to 2-1. And the Spuds bats have been active late in ball games. Yesterday afternoon, they scored 2 in the 8th and 4 in the 9th. Going back to last Sunday when they faced off at Mike Lansing Field in Wyoming, well, the Spuds scored 5 runs in the 9th inning. Noah Wiggins takes a pitch inside as the count goes 3-1. Looks like a baseball a little bit errant from the left field bullpen of the Casper Spuds as the count now 3-1 on Noah Wiggins. So Wiggins in the driver's seat right now, looking to drive in Tyler Hoffman off second. Zap trying to add on to a 4-run lead here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch from Moy hit sharply towards third. That one eats up Billingsley, goes to first, but the throw goes over the head of Josh Phillips. So Wiggins will head to second. Tyler Hoffman's being waved home. He will score. Wiggins now trying to go to third, and he will make it in safely. Billingsley rushing in to cut off the throw to make sure it doesn't get away. So it'll be an error on the third baseman, Hunter Billingsley. That allows a run to score for the Zap as they have now taken a 9-4 lead. Noah Wiggins stands 90 feet away with one man out. So that'll be the second error of the ball game for the Casper Spuds, and that will bring out their manager, James Batten. So we'll see if Moy will stay in this ball game. It's usually a quick pull from Batten if the pitcher is to exit, so it looks like he'll remain for now. The batter will be Buck Snabs. Well, Snabs already a couple of runs batted in. Opportunity to do so with one out and a runner on third in a 5-run ball game. You would expect that the Spuds infield will probably remain back, so a ground ball should score a run. 1 run already in on the error from Hunter Billingsley, overthrowing Josh Phillips at first. It's now a 9-4 Zap lead. So Moy will remain in the game.
Let's give Mother Nature a round of applause. That's just awesome. All right, Buck, let's keep this rolling.
Well, I'm not sure if you can see it on our coverage, but we have a bright rainbow out beyond left field. Well, 1 out. Wiggins off third. Buck Snabs steps in. Snabs 2 for 3, a strikeout in the 4th. The infields will come in here for the Spuds as Snabs swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Well, interesting to see here for the Spuds valuing every run. They'd rather try and get the runner out at home than get the runner at first. We'll see if this decision pays off for Batten and the Spuds. See if Snabs shortens up on the bat with the runner on third. 0-1 pitch is chopped foul. Snabs quickly behind in the count at 0-2. Jacob Trusner on deck for the Zap. Mason Lang in the hole. Interesting to see 2 of the best bats in the Zap lineup, Leandro Guevara and Vince Palizzi. Well, they're not in the lineup today, but that hasn't hurt to this point as the Zap lead 9-4. They've tallied 7 hits. The 0-2 pitch hit on the ground towards short. Diving is Schlotterback. Schlotterback comes home, and they will have Noah Wiggins out by a mile. What a play by the shortstop. The ball, well, it moves fast on you when you're playing on the infield grass. Schlotterback with the diving play. Noah Wiggins looked like a little bit of a late jump. Perhaps he should have stayed put and allowed the throw to go down to first. Instead, there's now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th with the runner on first. 1 run in this inning. It's a 9-4 ball game. That brings up Jacob Trusner. Snabs runs from first, throw down to second, not in time. Fantastic jump from Buck Snabs. Now with his 5th stolen base of the season. So still a runner in scoring position after the stolen base from Snabs with 2 men out. Count 1-0 on Jacob Trusner. The pitch, that one misses inside as Hamilton Moy falls behind 2-0 on Trusner after opening up the at-bat with a couple of fastballs. 2-0 breaking ball hit on the ground towards short, fielded on a weird hop by Schlotterback. Fires a dart to first for the 3rd out of the inning, but the Oahe Zap scratch 1 run on an error from Hunter Billingsley, extend their lead to 9-4. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Heading into the top of the 7th inning at Hyde Stadium, the Zap lead the Spuds by a score of 9-4, looking to win their first game against the Spuds in their 8th attempt. Take a look at the Independence League standings brought to you by Red Rosa. The Fremont Moo out in first place, a 3-0 conference record. The Spuds 1-0 after their win over the Zap last night. Sasquatch 1-0, a non-conference win against the North Platte Plainsmen. The Zap 2-0, but those wins against the Plainsmen, their one loss coming last night to the Spuds as the Sodbusters got swept by the Fremont Moo in their first 3-game series. And taking that pitch, looked like it was called for a strike from our home plate umpire. Thought it was perhaps a little below the knees of Dylan Schlotterback. The count now 0-1 as Schlotterback leads off the top of the 7th inning. Jake Hutter back on the mound for the Oahe Zap. That one misses outside. Count evens up 1-1. Well, the Zap appear to be rocking with Hutter. I wouldn't be surprised to see if they let Hutter try and go all 4 innings if he can. Hutter missing low as the count runs 2-1 on Schlotterback. Schlotterback 1 for 2 today, drove in a run on a single in the 4th, a ground out to short in the 3rd, and a walk in the 1st. The 2-1 breaking ball hit sharply but right at Tyler Hoffman, who catches it on the fly for the first out of the inning. And now Micah Larson will head out to the bullpen for the Oahe Zap. So you'd think it's going to be between Jake Hutter, Micah Larson, and Jacob Skinner are the arms you would expect to see for the Oahe Zap, given the fact that they have a 5-run lead. Well, even more crucial that Hutter retires the first batter in Schlotterback with Josh Phillips on deck. You have a 5-run lead. You can feel a little more free to attack the big man who fouls that one down the first base line and falls behind in the count 0-1. Phillips now 7 home runs on the year. That leads all of the Independence League. Vince Polizzi of the Oahe Zap in second place with 6 home runs. Hutter out of the windup with the 0-1 pitch, misses down in the dirt. The count evens up at 1-1. Well, Phillips today 1 for 3. He flew out to left field a couple of times. Back in the 4th inning, it was a great play by Noah Wiggins. Saved a couple of runs from scoring as Hutter falls behind in the count 2-1. Now the pitch. That one hit sharply through the right side for a base hit. Well, Josh Phillips all over the breaking ball. A frozen rope to right field. And a 1-out hit gives the Spuds a base runner, brings up Raphael Jackson. Well, Jackson 0 for 3 today. Yesterday, a nice day at the plate. He was 4 for 4 with a home run and a double. Takes that pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Jackson disagreeing with that one and having some words with the home plate umpire. Well, Jackson's been hot as of late, dating back to June 15th. He's 15 for his last 31, including 13 runs batted in. Now the 0-1 fastball misses outside. Count evens up at 1-1. Hutter comes home with the 1-1 pitch. A breaking ball that looked like it might have missed a little high. Hutter asking the home plate umpire for clarification. He thought that one... Did the home plate umpire just signal low? That pitch was certainly not low on Jackson. 1-1 pitch hits sharply and beyond the reach of Tyler Hoffman. Phillips will stop at second. So back-to-back 1-out hits for the Casper Spuds. Perhaps I misread the signal from the home plate umpire. Maybe he signaled inside. Asking here up in the press box what everyone else saw, and they're just as confused as I am. Regardless, runners on first and second with 1 man out brings up Hunter Billingsley. Billingsley came into the game for Wesley Flatt. He struck out back in the 5th inning. Swings through that one as the count goes 0-1. Billingsley looking to atone for the error at third. That let an Oahe Zap runner come around to score, which made it a 5-run ball game. He's got an opportunity to do so with runners on first and second. Hutter's 0-1 pitch, a breaking ball that's fouled away and heading for the seats as the count goes 0-2.
Landing events that are foul ball. Make sure to turn in foul balls in for a freezy pop or a trading card of your favorite Zap player.
So good to see what's been the largest crowd in Oahe Zap history out here on a lovely Friday evening. 0-2 from Hutter. That one gets away from Calcaterra. The runners will advance to second and third. Well, this at-bat has now become a much higher pressure at-bat for Hutter. The Zap will likely give up and out for a run with a 5-run lead. The infield stays back. Buck Snabs continuing to shift the lefty in Billingsley. The 1-2 pitch down in the dirt. Great stop from Calcaterra to save a run from coming in to score as the count now even 2-2 on Hunter Billingsley. Hutter has the sign from Calcaterra, fires the 2-2 pitch. That one misses outside, 3-2 now the count. Well, first base is open, but the dangerous Matt Marsick is on deck, who's reached in all 3 attempts today. 3-2 the count on Billingsley. The pitch swung on and hit in the air deep right field, but Mike Monham is there. Tagging from third is Josh Phillips. There will be no play at the plate as he basically walks on home. That cuts the lead to 4. It's now a 9-5 ball game. Raphael Jackson advances from second to third behind Phillips as there's 2 outs now in the top of the 7th. Well, that will bring up Matt Marsick. Marsick, a .304 hitter with runners in scoring position. As just mentioned, he's reached in all 3 plate appearances today. He's driven in 26 runs so far this year, has Jackson standing off third, and takes a pitch low. The count now 1-0. The pitch. That one called for a strike on the inside corner. A little bit of a shrug of the shoulders there from Matt Marsick as the count goes 1-1. Zap continuing to shift every lefty in this lineup. Jake Hutter just misses low and away as the count now 2-1 on Marsick. Still no motion up in the Oahe Zap bullpen. Michael Larson had perhaps headed down to stretch, but as of now, nothing going on. Jake Hutter misses low with that one, falls behind 3-1 in the count on Matt Marsick. The 3-1 pitch is fouled away, and that took a one hop over what looks to be a red car out in Capitol Avenue. I don't know how that baseball avoided the car. It looked like it could have been heading through the window, but well, whoever's car that is, a lucky vehicle owner tonight. Now the 3-2 from Hutter, and that one hits Matt Marsick. Well, Matt Marsick, now 2 walks and a hit by pitch. Hutter a little bit of frustration on the mound as there's now runners on the corners for the Casper Spuds, which brings up Chandler Stocking. Interesting to see if we'd get a pinch hitter on deck, but it looks like it is still Parker Burt. So runners on the corners, 2 men out. Zap lead 9-5. Runner goes from first. Hutter finds the strike zone on Chandler Stocking, who takes that one as the count moves to 0-1. Well, the Spuds have out-hit the Zap to this point, 5 runs on 8 hits. The Oahe Zap, 9 runs on 7 hits. Hutter looks in for the sign from Calcaterra, now flashes a target. The 0-1 breaking ball hit sharply to third, and that one gets by Jackson Mix. 2 runs will come around to score. The Casper Spuds creeping closer.
The catcher, Parker Burt.
Well, a couple of 3 spots coming in the 4th and 7th innings for the Casper Spuds have put them to within 2. I'll bring up Parker Burt now, just a runner on first with 2 men out as the runners on the base paths cleared by the RBI single from Chandler Stocking. Ball game. We'll see if Jake Hutter knows that and tries to avoid the strike zone here against the tall righty catcher. The 0-1 breaking ball misses outside, 1-1 the count. One pitch from Hutter. Burt checked his swing. Looks like he did not go around. Will Calcaterra was asking the home plate umpire to check with the field umpire. Home plate umpire shook his head. You will not ask for help on that one as the count moves to 2-1. Trusner holds the runner on first. Hutter comes home and gets a chase and a miss from Parker Burt, who swings out a pitch in the dirt as the count goes to 2-2. Jake Hutter trying to escape the top of the 7th inning. 3 runs in, runner goes. Burt fouls that one off the end of the bat, so Chandler Stocking will head back to first. Count remains 2-2. Julius Cass now warming up in the Zap bullpen. Hutter comes set. It'll be a 2-2 pitch as time is called. The count stays 2-2. Runner goes once again. 2-2 misses outside as the count goes full here on Parker Burt. Well, with Elijah Reeves on deck, Hutter is going to need to throw a strike here to Parker Burt and try and get out of the top of the 7th inning. Elijah Reeves already 2 for 2 on the day, reached on all 4 appearances. Hutter looking back the runner on second. The 3-2, that one hit sharply through the left side, a base hit coming on to try and score. And coming on to score is Chandler Stocking, as it's now just a 1-run ball game. Well, the Zap were out to an 8-0 lead as it's now just a 9-8 ball game here in the top of the 7th inning. Chandler Stocking had a good jump off of second base. Parker Burt will pick up his 3rd RBI of the season as it's now back to the top of the Spuds lineup. And this is where, if you're the Oahe Zap, you still have a 1-run lead. You need to make sure you get out of this inning with just 4 runs up and try and add some more damage back at the plate. Well, Parker Burt the runner off first. 1-0 pitch now. Checked his swing, called for a strike nonetheless. Count evens up 1-1 on Reeves. So Reeves, a couple of singles on the day, was hit by a pitch in the first and walked in the third. The Zap clinging to a 1-run lead here in the top of the 7th inning as Reeves out ahead of the fastball from Hutter. The count now 1-2. Well, Reeves is a tough man to strike out at the plate. Just 2 strikeouts in what is now 104 plate appearances so far this year. Angel Escobar looked a little surprised at that statistic from up here in the press box. 1-2 pitch misses away as the count evens up 2-2. Seems to always put his bat on the ball. Well, Escobar's advice to pitchers about pitching to Reeves was pitch him up. You want to make him put the ball in the air. 2-2 pitch. He popped it up in the air, shallow left field, ranging back Buck Snabs, who makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Casper Spuds put a 4 spot up in the top of the 7th, but the Zap clinging to a 1-run lead as it's time to stretch here at Hyde Stadium. 9-8 ball game. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Hamilton Moy back for the Casper Spuds in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Zap holding on tightly to a 1-run lead, looking to perhaps add a little bit of separation here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 5, 6, and 7 hitters, Mason Lang, Mike Monum, and Will Calcaterra to lead it off for the Zap. Well, Hamilton Moy already through 2 innings of work. He's given up just 1 hit and 1 run. That run unearned. It was an error from Hunter Billingsley at third. Mason Lang 1 for 3 on the day. Drove in a run back in the 2nd inning. Will lead it off here against Moy. Well, Jake Hutter, it looked like he was moving along smoothly through his first 2 innings, but a 2-out rally from the Casper Spuds results in the lead cut to 1 as the count now 1-0 on Mason Lang. The pitch from Moy misses outside, so a 2-0 count now on Lang. Lang, 7 walks so far this year. Zap, well, looking to add some insurance as the 2-0 fastball misses low and away. And the count now 3-0 on Mason Lang. So if you had to guess, Lang probably will keep the bat on his shoulder with the 3-0 on the way, and that one misses once again. A 4-pitch walk to Mason Lang begins the bottom of the 7th inning. Perhaps gets the line moving for the Oahe Zap as that brings up Mike Monum. Well, Monum had a double out to deep left center field coming back in the 2nd inning. He drove in 2 runs on that play. He reached in the 5th inning on an error by the shortstop Dylan Schlotterback, but would be stranded on base. And he takes that one low and outside as the count goes 1-0. So 5 straight balls opens up the bottom of the 7th inning from Hamilton Moy. Lang just a couple steps off first, not a big lead. And the 1-0 pitch, ball 6. Well, Mike Monum might be in take mode until he sees a strike as Parker Burt will go out for a talk with his pitcher in Hamilton Moy. Spuds with action up in the bullpen, as are the Zap. It's Julius Cass in the right field pen. Tyler Guidry warming up in the Spuds bullpen. He made an appearance yesterday, so we'll see at what point they pull Hamilton Moy from this one. It's a 2. I believe it missed outside, but you never know with our home plate umpire as the count goes 3-0. So 7 straight balls from Hamilton Moy makes it a 3-0 count. Will Calcaterra on deck. Jackson makes in the hole. The pitch, that one called for a strike. Hamilton Moy finds the strike zone in the 3-0 count. Well, Monum still in the driver's seat now, 3-1, free to swing away. Lang the runner off first. Moy comes set, now the 3-1 pitch in on the hands of Monum, but will go into foul territory, 3-2 now. Well, Lang a couple of stolen bases this summer with the Zap, but not the most speed on the team off of first. It'll be interesting to see if they get aggressive in a 3-2 count. Although with the arm of Parker Burt behind the plate, I wouldn't expect Lang to be going. 3-2 pitch, hit well out towards left field. That ball will fall despite a diving attempt from Matt Marsick. Now runners on first and second with no one out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Mike Monum continues his good piece of hitting at the plate. And that will do it for Hamilton Moy. It'll likely be Tyler Guidry who will come into this ball game. He'll inherit runners on first and second with no one out. Zap trying to add on to what is now a 1-run lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Well, we've got a good one here at Hyde Stadium on Free Friday. Well, the most attended baseball game in Zap history. And these two teams are treating the fans to a good one. It's a 9-8 ball game in the bottom of the seventh. Zap with runners on first and second and no one out as Will Calcaterra will step to the plate. Tyler Guidry, the pitcher tonight for the Casper Spuds. He's thrown 10 innings so far this season, giving up 8 hits, 5 runs, all of those earned, 6 walks, and 8 strikeouts. Squaring to bunt is Calcaterra, pulls back to take that one for ball 1. Sliding back into second is Cole Ottersberg. Ottersberg coming to pinch run for Mason Lang. So Lang DHing on the night. His night is done. The next time his spot comes around, I'd be surprised if it's anyone other than Vince Polizzi or Leandro Guevara. Calcaterra squares to bunt once again. Ottersberg will head down to third as the ball gets by Burt. Burt's throw going into second base, but it pulls Schlotterback off the second base bag. A nice pick, which keeps Ottersberg at third. Monham goes into second. Now runners on second and third with no one out. The count 2-0 on Will Calcaterra. Calcaterra 0 for 2 tonight, was hit by a pitch back in the second. Infield comes in here for the Spuds. Will try and cut the runner off the plate like they did so in the sixth, but missing low and away is Tyler Guidry as the count goes 3-0 on Will Calcaterra. Well, Calcaterra sure to be taking here a 3-0 pitch. Fastball, well, that one in there for strike 1 from Tyler Guidry. Guidry working quickly here. The 3-1 pitch. Fastball. And Will Calcaterra will take his bases. That one misses outside. The base is now loaded for the Oahe Zap with no one out. So the middle infield will retreat for the Spuds. They'll try and turn 2, which would still allow a run to score, but they will take that trade off any day of the week. Jackson Mix, the batter here for the Zap. Mix 1 for 3 on the day. Singled back in the second. High leverage spot here for Tyler Guidry. The Zap giving up 4 runs in the top of the 7th inning. Now trying to do some damage of their own in the bottom half. Mix takes that pitch low and inside for ball 1. Tyler Guidry can't believe it on the mound. Wanted to get the past 2 calls, but both of them have gone as balls. 1-0 the count. Emiliano Curtiel sits on deck. Pitch from Guidry, a fastball, misses low, count 2-0. Ottersberg the runner off third, Monham the runner off second, Calcaterra off of first. Mason Lang exiting the game, a pinch runner in the form of Ottersberg, as that one misses low and away. The count now 3-0 on Jackson Mix, so a ball would walk in a run here. Already 2 walks in the inning. Zap, a third walk would result in a run. Went with the breaking ball, and that one called a strike as the count goes 3-1 on Jackson Mix. Guidry perhaps asking something to the home plate umpire. Well, the corners stay in here for the Spuds, and Phillips at first, Billingsley at third. 3-1 pitch is fouled away as the count runs full on Jackson Mix. It's Emiliano Curriel on deck. That's the batter you want at the plate for the Zap right now, hitting .464 with runners in scoring position. Seems to just know how to put the ball in play when he needs to. 3-2 pitch. Mix chops that one off his foot, so it'll be a foul ball. Despite the ball going out into the infield grass, likely would have been ball 4 on Jackson Mix. Would have driven in a run and given the Zap a 10-8 lead. Instead, it stays a full count as Mix battles against Guidry. Mix trying to hobble that one off. Looks like he might have hurt his front foot, which for the lefty would be his right foot. Mix taking his time now. And now the home plate umpire is going to ask him perhaps if he's all right. Well, Mix will step back in. The count 3-2. Guidry looks in for the sign from Parker Burt. Now comes set. The 3-2 pitch misses down in the dirt. The Zap Walker run in. Cole Ottersberg didn't realize it was ball 4.
That's ball 4. That's ball 4.
And it's going to be called ball 3. That's the home plate umpire doesn't know the count. Now Haberger's going to ask for clarification. All the fans are yelling that's ball 4. Mix had started heading down to first. And the home plate umpire's waving off Haberger. He's going to say it's ball 3. Chad is saying it's ball 4.
Ball 4. I said it to the PA just now. Ball 4. It's ball 4.
But the count will be 3-2 on Jackson Mix. The home plate umpire has not had a very good day behind the plate tonight. It'll be a 3-2 pitch from Tyler Guidry, which misses down in the dirt, and that is ball 5. Well, Jackson Mix works a 5-ball walk. It's not usually the type of walk you see, but that brings in a run as the Zap make it a 10-8 lead. So Ottersberg, the run that comes around to score. Mike Mana moves to third. Will Calcaterra moves to second. Jackson Mix heads on down to first. And Emiliano Curiel, who we mentioned, the .464 average with runners in scoring position, is the batter. Curiel is aggressive with runners on, likes to shorten up and swing early in counts, but he takes that fastball. It's going to be called. Our home plate umpire isn't signaling. It's tough to call here. So the count is either 1-0 or 0-1. Now the pitch from Guidry misses down in the dirt. Mike Monham's going to come around to score. The Zap extend it to a 3-run lead as the count goes 1-1 on Emiliano Curiel. Well, Tyler Guidry has been a little bit erratic on the mound to this point. So runners advancing to second and third on the play, now an 11-8 ball game. Now it'll be a 1-1 to Curiel, who takes that pitch for, well, I don't know. The count's either 1-2 or 2-1. We'll await word from our home plate umpire. You know, these aren't Independence League umpires tonight. They're just coming in to help out, so we'll give them a little bit of slack. Curiel swings through that one, and it looks like it was a 2-1 count, so now it'll go 2-2 on Curiel, who's still alive in the at-bat. That's why our scoreboard's been a little funky here, because our scoreboard operator can't tell what the home plate umpire is signaling. Well, regardless, the count now 2-2. Infield's in once again for the Spuds. Pitch, Curiel takes that one for ball 3 as the count now runs full. So despite the fact it's a 3-run ball game, Spuds going to continue to try and cut off the run at home. Shouldn't be surprising as they did so in a 9-4 ball game. Now the 3-2 to Curiel, hit on the ground towards third. Billingsley comes home with the play, and Calcaterra is out by a mile. A bare hand tag from Parker Burt. Wisely advancing behind Calcaterra was the runner in
Second baseman, number 88, Tyler Hoffman.
Jackson Mix. So Mix advances to third. Curiel safely aboard on first. Still one out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Zap now lead by a score of 11-8. Runners on the corners, one out for Tyler Hoffman. Well, Hoffman's been hit by a pitch in 3 of his first 4 appearances, grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the other. Guidry comes home with that one and misses high, 1-0. And while the largest attendance crowd here tonight, that what we thought was ball 4 on Jackson Mix, the fans were yelling that's ball 4, and they were making their voices heard here as Guidry, believe the count is now 2-0. as it looks like that one missed low below the zone. Word is that that was a strike. So the count now even, 1-1 on Hoffman. The pitch from Guidry misses outside. The count goes to 2-1.
Somebody needs to get with them between the innings and say strike, or don't just click the thing and say strike.
Jackson makes off third. Emiliano Curiel off first. That one called for a strike, gets by Parker Burt. Curiel will advance to second. Staying at third is Jackson Mix. Perhaps didn't have a great read on that ball. It didn't look like a pitch that would get away from Parker Burt. It was called for a strike. The count goes to 2-2. So Mix was perhaps already taking his steps back to third base as the pitch squirted away from Parker Burt. But the infield comes in once again with runners on second and third. One out. Hoffman's got to put the ball in play here. The 2-2 from Guidry. Fastball swung on and missed. A big strikeout from Tyler Guidry, as there are now 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Brings up Noah Wiggins. Well, Wiggins 0 for 3 so far. He's driven in a run. A run scored on his ground ball to third last inning in the 6th. The infield now goes back with 2 men out. The pitch, fastball misses inside, 1-0. Well, the Zap dugout has been much quieter than usual. They've calmed down since the night with 3 ejections, as the breaking ball still awaiting word here. It was a 1-0 count. We'll let you know when we find out. Looks like it'll go to 2-0. Noah Wiggins even asking the home plate umpire for clarification. So 2-0 the count with runners on second and third. Fastball roped but caught by the second baseman Chandler Stocking for the third out of the inning. Well, the Zap score 2 but leave runners on second and third. They extend their lead to 11-8 going into the 8th inning. Spuds now with some more work to do at the plate. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Julius Cass on to pitch for the Oahe Zap. Comes into the game with an 11-8 lead here in the top of the 8th inning. Cass so far this year in 9 appearances has gone 11 1/3 innings, a 2-0 record, but an ERA of 11.91. The number that really sticks out like a sore thumb, 24 walks throughout 11 1/3 innings so far this season. So perhaps it will be a short leash on Cass, as Jacob Skinner is already warming up for the Zap down in the right field bullpen. You hate to question it, but a curious decision to go with Cass here, who's struggled with his command. You have Skinner and Michael Larson up in the bullpen. Those are the 2 of the better arms available tonight for the Oahe Zap, as Angel Escobar is still serving a suspension. He's right next to me here in the press box. Escobar would likely be out in this situation if he was available, but instead it is Cass. Well, we're going to get a pinch hitter here for the Spuds to lead off the top of the 8th inning. Well, he's not on their roster. It's number 37 as Cass misses high. The count goes 1-0. Cass looks in for the sign from Calcaterra. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Who knows? So 2-0 or 1-1. I mean, listen, folks, I'm sorry for the trouble at home. I know I'm having a good laugh here, but this is a little bit ridiculous as the pitch misses high from Cass. So the count is either 2-1 or 3-0. I'm having a laugh here, but it is absurdly hard to figure out what the count is with this home plate umpire. So the either 3-0 or 2-1 pitch misses high. And they're going to say it was a 3-0 count, so a 4-pitch walk to number 37 to lead off the top of the 8th inning. And that will bring up Dylan Schlotterback. So Schlotterback with a runner on first and no one out. Julius Cass walking the first batter of the game. As we mentioned, that's been the issue for him so far this year. Schlotterback gets under that first pitch, swinging out to left field. Wiggins, ranging to his right, makes the play for the first out of the inning. So Julius Cass, way to settle down there, as there's now one out in the top of the 8th. Well, that'll bring up Josh Phillips. Looks like Henderson is number 37. Phillips today, 2 for 4. He's driven in a run, came around to score once himself. The Shadows have now fully invaded Hyde Stadium. One out here, top of the 8th inning. Zap lead 11-8 as Julius Cass hits Josh Phillips with the first pitch of the at-bat. Well, control still an issue for Cass. A walk and a hit by pitch puts runners on first and second, and that brings the game's tying run to the plate in Raphael Jackson. Jackson already 3 home runs this season for the Spuds, 2 of which have come against the Zap, and that will bring out Jamie Haberger, and we'll see if that does it for Julius Cass. A walk and a hit by pitch, and when control has been the issue coming into this ballgame, sometimes you have a shorter leash, and that will do it for Cass. Jacob Skinner going to come on in relief for the Oahe Zap in a 3-run ballgame. Hill and Harrod runners on first and second with one man out. We'll step aside. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Well, Jacob Skinner faces 3 batters, gives up a walk, a hit by pitch, and gets one out on a fly out to left field. That's where it stands now as Jacob Skinner comes in for Julius Cass. Take a look at Skinner's stats so far this year. In 10 appearances, he's gone 16 2/3 innings, posting a 4.86 ERA, 16 strikeouts against 6 walks. And the question you might have if you're a Zap fan is, why didn't Skinner come in to begin the top of the 8th inning? Well, folks, I don't really have a good answer for you, as You know, in a tight 11-8 ball game, the Zap trying to pick up their first win of the season over the Casper Spuds. Would have expected Skinner and possibly Micah Larson to be entering this game following the performance from Jake Hutter. But instead it was Julius Cass, as there's now runners on first and second with one man out here in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Raphael Jackson to lead it off for the Spuds. Well, Jackson 1 for 4, came around to score after he reached base. But last night he was 4 for 4, a key home run in the top of the 8th inning. Excuse me, that Josh Phillips' home run was in the 8th, but a home run nonetheless earlier in that ball game. He represents the game's tying run for the Casper Spuds. First and second, one out. Skinner into the ball game. Pitch hit on the ground towards second, through the right side past the diving Tyler Hoffman. Stopping at third, though, is Henderson, as there's now one out with the bases loaded. And that brings up Hunter Billingsley. Well, Billingsley now represents the leading run for the Spuds. It's Henderson off of third. It's Jackson off first. And Josh Phillips on second. Swallow checks the runner at second, comes home with the pitch to Billingsley, which is called for a strike. We got a signal from our home plate umpire. Yippee. The count now 0-1 on Hunter Billingsley with the bases loaded and one man out. Zap trying to close down this ball game, but they got to get through the 8th inning first. The 0-1 pitch is fouled away as the count goes 0-2. Calcaterra will give chase momentarily, but the ball exits the field to play as the count moves to 0-2. So an 0-2 count now on Hunter Billingsley. Bases loaded. Jacob Skinner on the mound. Let's see what pitch Skinner goes with here. Checks the runner on second. Now comes home. The breaking ball lifted in the air, left center field. That ball is going to get down. Emiliano Curiel races to cut it off. Jackson rounds third. He's going to score the game's tying run as he beats the throw to the plate, and the ball gets by Calcaterra. Now Billingsley heading down for third. Calcaterra will hold the throw as the Casper Spuds have tied this ball game up at 11 runs apiece, with the game's leading run just 90 feet away as Billingsley advanced to third on the throw home to Calcaterra. Perhaps an ill-informed decision from the shortstop. Buck Snab should have held on to that ball, would have kept Billingsley at second. Well, a brand new ball game, as that will likely bring the infield in. Yes, it will for the Zap. Now one out. It's an 11-11 game. Matt Marsick, the batter, a runner on third. The pitch from Skinner, hit on the ground through the middle for a base hit. That gives the Spuds their first lead of the ball game at 12-11. As the Zap have now officially surrendered or given up an 8-run lead, led 8-0 after the second inning, and the Spuds have been chipping away ever since. It's now a 12-11 ball game. As that brings up Chandler Stocking. Stocking drove in a couple of runs back in the 7th. Skinner's pitch misses and called for a strike. So the count now 0-1 on Stocking. You still have to think back to the decision, unfortunately, to bring in Julius Cass. You know, you don't want to harp over something like that, but Skinner and Larson in the bullpen, it's tough to come to that conclusion. Well, the count now 0-1 on Stocking. Matt Marsick, the runner, off first. Stocking checks his swing and goes through it as he falls behind in the count 0-2. Well, Marsick giving the Spuds the first lead of the game. A ground ball up the middle with the infield in. It got through for a base hit. Now the count 0-2 on Chandler Stocking. Runner goes. Skinner's pitch misses inside. Matt Marsick will make it safely into second base, his 17th stolen base of the summer as the count moves to 1-2. Skinner on the mound, looks in for the sign. Checks back the runner. Runner goes, 1-2 pitch. Well, Marsick in safely at third as it appears the count has gone to 2-2. Once again, still struggling. Our home plate umpire not really giving us any signals up here, so it's tough to tell whether it's a ball or a strike when the batter takes a pitch. Count now 2-2. The pitch chopped on the ground towards third. A runner will score. Mix charges, fires to first. Not in time. An infield single for Chandler Stocking as the Casper Spuds have now taken a 13-11 lead. So Stocking has now driven in 3 runs on the day as he moves to 2 for 5. Brings up Parker Burt with 1 man out. The Spuds putting up a 5 spot here in the top of the 8th. Parker Burt, 1 base hit on the day. Skinner will check on the runner at first. Well, the Zaps still have 6 outs to work with at the plate. Between the bottom of the 8th and 9th, they now trail by 2. Stocking goes from first. Throw down from Calcaterra is not in time. Stocking makes it safely. Now 9 for 9, a perfect stolen base record on the summer. Home plate umpires signaling time. It's one of the few big signals we've seen from our home plate umpire, making it clear that there's time on the field. The count now 0-1 on Parker Burt. Chandler Stocking the runner off second. Tyler Hoffman coming over to cover. Pickoff attempt from Jacob Skinner is unsuccessful. The count still 0-1 on Burt. Well, the Spuds warming up in the bullpen. We'll try and get you eyes on who that is. The 0-1 pitch is fouled away against the netting as the count goes 0-2. The count now 0-2 on Parker Burt. The pitch swung on and missed. Burt chases the pitch down in the dirt. Second out of the inning for the Oahe Zap. A strikeout from Parker Burt, as that'll bring up Elijah Reeves. So the Zap still working to get through the top of the 8th inning. It's a 13-11 ball game. Well, Elijah Reeves to this point 2 for 3 on the day. He's driven in 2 runs. A walk and a hit by pitch, reached in 4 out of his 5 appearances. Hoffman holding on the runner at second. Skinner delivers a, well, I don't know. It's either 1-0 or 0-1. It's hard to tell here. Still waiting for word on whether that was a ball or a strike in the press box. The pitch to Skinner, swung on and missed. Well, looked like pitch 1 was called for a ball. Now that one a strike. It'll be a 1-1 count on Elijah Reeves. Stocking the lead off second. Pitch from Skinner is fouled away over the right side as the count goes 1-2. So the count now 1-2 on Elijah Reeves. Jacob Skinner trying to get out of this inning. The first 2 runs will go against Julius Cast, then the next 3 will go against Skinner. 1-2 pitch is lifted in the air, foul territory. Jacob Trusner can't get over to the ball, so the count will stay 1-2. Skinner steps off. Well, 5 runs here in the top of the 8th. 9 runs now over the past 2 innings for the Casper Spuds have given them a 13-11 lead. Pitch from Skinner, hit on in the air out to center field. That ball will land for a base hit. Being waved home from third is Chandler Stocking. He will score as the Spuds lead is now 14-11. Elijah Reeves picks up another RBI on the base hit to center field. Well, 10 runs over the past 2 innings. The Zap did put up 2 in the bottom half of the 7th, but now in a 3-run deficit. Spuds 14 runs on 14 hits throughout this ball game. Zap 11 runs on 8 hits. As that will bring up Henderson.
That is name, Henderson, 37.
Skinner looks at the runner, now comes home. That pitch, we will wait to see the call. Looks like a strike if the count goes 0-1 on Henderson. Skinner checks on the runner at first, but getting back safely is Elijah Reeves. Oh, 1 count on Henderson. Henderson came into the ballgame for Cody Clausius. Runner goes from first, throw down to second, not in time. A stolen base from Elijah Reeves. As the count moves to 1-1. So a runner in scoring position yet again for the Casper Spuds. Hoffman holding on the runner at second. The 1-1. Fastball misses outside, count 2-1. It's a tough situation for Jacob Skinner to come into with runners on first and second with 1 man out. And although he hasn't fared well, it hasn't been due to walks. The Spuds have been hitting the ball well here in the 8th. 2-1 misses low and away. Count goes 3-1. Dylan Schlotterback sitting on deck for the Casper Spuds. He would make his second at-bat of the inning. This is the 9th hitter of the inning for the Spuds. Runner goes, but the pitch fouled off by Henderson, so Reeves is going to head back to second. Had a nice jump on that pitch, but the count now full on Henderson. Six runs already in here for the Spuds. It's a 14-11 ball game. The pitch misses outside and Henderson works a walk, so the inning continues here for the Casper Spuds, and that will bring out Haberger. Warming in the bullpen has been Micah Larson. He's taking a few steps towards the field to play, so it looks like this one might do it for Jacob Skinner's outing. And Haberger grabs the ball. Michael Larson will come on to pitch with runners on first and second and 2 men out. We'll take a quick break here watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Micah Larson comes into the ballgame with 2 outs here and 2 runners on first and second with 6 runs already in the top of the 8th inning. The Spuds leading the Oahe Zap by a score of 14-11. Take a look at Larson's statistics so far this summer. Well, he's pitched in just 1 game, went 1 inning, giving up 1 run and 1 hit. So an ERA of an even 9, but just keep in mind that's only 1 inning for Micah Larson. Well, the Spuds leading 14-11. We'll try and get that scoreboard fixed for you momentarily. That should do it. So Dylan Schlotterback will be the batter with runners on first and second. Schlotterback 1 for 4 today with an RBI and a walk. First and second, 2 men out. Larson into the ballgame, comes home with the pitch, misses inside 1-0. Well, at this point, a base hit could break the ballgame open. As it stands, a 3-run game. The Zap still 6 outs to work with at the plate as Larson's pitch is fouled away. The count goes 1-1. Well, the Casper Spuds with a 10-game winning streak right now. Oahe Zap with some work to do to try and snap it. The 1-1. That one down in the dirt, well in front of home plate. Now coming home to try and score is Reeves from third. The play at the plate, and he's called safe. He's called safe. The throw beat him by a mile. Larson applied the tag, but Elijah Reeves is called safe at the plate. That is unbelievable. And that'll bring up Out Haberger to try and argue this call. Well, maybe he'll overturn it like the last call. You never know. The throw beat him. Larson applied the tag, and you just wonder. It didn't look like his hands got in there safely. Well, the Spuds now taking a 15-11 lead as Haberger will head back to the dugout. So Elijah Reeves stole 2 bases on the play. The throw from Calcaterra looked like it beat Reeves to the plate. Larson laid down a good tag, misses on that one as the count goes 3-1 now on Dylan Schlotterback. The Spuds now 7 runs in the top of the 8th inning. Josh Phillips stands on deck. Now a 15-11 ball game. The 3-1 pitch. Looks like it was called for a strike as the count goes full. Well, the only reason we know it's called for a strike is because Schlotterback didn't head down to first in what was a 3-ball count. So now it's 3-2. Henderson leads off second. Micah Larson will try and make his way out of the top of the 8th inning. The third pitcher of the inning for the Zap started with Cass, then to Skinner, now to Larson. 3-2 pitch in there for strike 3. Dylan Schlotterback goes down looking, and that will do it for the top of the 8th inning. But 7 runs gives the Casper Spuds a 15-11 lead over the Oahe Zap as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Bottom of the 8th inning, it'll be 3, 4, and 5 for the Oahe Zap. Buck Snabs, Jacob Trusner. And we'll get a pinch hitter for Mason Lang. It was Cole Ottersberg on the base paths in the game for Lang. It will likely be either Polizzi or Guevara to hit in the 3 spot this inning for the Zap. Well, back on the mound for the Casper Spuds is Tyler Guidry. Guidry in his first inning of work gave up 2 walks, struck out 1. Couple of runs coming in, however, as Hamilton Moy was forced to exit the game after an errant start to the bottom of the 7th inning. So the Zap in a 15-11 hole. They led 8-0 dating back to the 2nd inning. And now we're ready to get going. Well, the 15th run of the game came on a double steal. It was Elijah Reeves was stealing third, on the pitch. The throw got by Calcaterra. He came home to score. However, the throw from Calcaterra had beat Reeves to the plate. Larson applied the tag, yet he was still called safe, so perhaps the home plate umpire saw something different than we did, as Buck Snabs takes that pitch for, looks like it'll go as ball 1. 1-0, the count now on Snabs. Guidry out of the windup with no one on base. The 1-0 pitch down in the dirt. 2-0, the count on Snabs. Well, the Zap 2 innings to work with at the plate. They've been active on the base paths all day. It is Vince Polizzi who has a bat, so he'll hit in the 3-hole as the 2-0 pitch misses up and in. The count now 3-0 on Buck Snabs. Well, this is how you have to start the inning if you're the Oahe Zap, as Parker Burt will come out to talk with Tyler Guidry. It'll be a take sign for Buck Snabs, given that there's no one on base and the Zap in a 4-run deficit. Zap will likely see Micah Larson come back to pitch the top of the 9th inning. They're going to be looking for a scoreless frame. They've given up 11 runs over the 7th and 8th. Count now 3-0 on Buck Snabs. Guidry comes home, and that one misses inside. A 4-pitch walk to Buck Snabs. Well, perhaps that can inject a little bit of life back into this ball club. Going into the top of the 8th inning, they led by 3. Now they trail by 4. As that brings up Jacob Trusner. Trusner 0 for 4 on the day. Snabs being held on first by Phillips. Trusner takes a pitch. And that one called a ball. 1-0 the count. Now the 1-0 pitch, called a strike. We have signals from our home plate umpire as the count moves to 1-1 on Jacob Trusner. Well, the first strike of the inning from Tyler Guidry after a 4-pitch walk to Buck Snabs. 1-1 fastball, strike. The count goes 1-2. Well, Trusner in a 1-2 hole fouls that one off to stay alive. Jacob Trusner still the only Oahe Zap hitter that has not reached base so far today. Him and Vince Polizzi have been rotating starts at first base. Well, his teammate sitting on deck, who will pinch hit for the pinch runner Ottersberg, as that one misses low and away. 2-2. Guidry looks back at Snabs, comes home with the 2-2 breaking ball. That one outside as the count runs full on Jacob Trusner. Well, a couple of close pitches from Tyler Guidry from 1-2 to 3-2. Trusner, it's an interesting spot, 3-2 count. Takes a pitch down in the dirt. A couple of walks begin the bottom of the 8th inning for the Oahe Zap. Puts runners on first and second. That gets the fans back into this one. Still a 4-run ball game, and that will bring up out batting and heading in from the left field bullpen. So it looks like that will do it for Tyler Guidry. So we'll take a quick break. Runners on first and second with no one out. Tyler Guidry exits. The Zap still in a 4-run hole, 15-11 Spuds. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Bryce Hudenick comes into this ballgame for the Casper Spuds, has a 4-run lead with the Spuds at 15-11, but inherits runners on first and second with no one out, and he'll face the ever-dangerous Vince Polizzi. That'll be his first batter of the inning. Hudenick out of the Southwestern Assemblies of God this season through 6 games has gone 4 2/3 innings, an ERA of 6, 10 strikeouts against 2 walks. So a very solid 5-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio. Well, Vince Polizzi so far this year, he's hit the long ball 6 times. A long ball would cut the deficit to 1 here. Polizzi hitting .304 on the season, gets on base at a clip of .375. 21 runs batted in on the year. Well, this is an interesting spot for Hudenick to come in. You know, oftentimes tough to come into the middle of the innings. We'll see if he has command of the strike zone. Spuds pitchers tonight, they've been a little bit shaky as they've entered the ball game with their command. Well, Hudenick out of the stretch with runners on first and second. Snabs off second, Trusner off first. The pitch to Polizzi, he takes that one low and outside for ball 1. Hudenick looking in for the sign from Parker Burt. Looks back the runner on second in Buck Snabs. Now comes home with the 1-0 fastball. That one misses low as the count 2-0. Well, not to forecast the future, but a couple of balls here from Bryce Hudenick. Although the command hasn't looked errant. He's barely missed on both pitches. 2-0 count now on Polizzi. The pitch from Hudenick, fastball hit well out towards center field. Racing back is Elijah Reeves to the warning track where he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Buck Snabs tags from second, will get into third safely.
Come on, Mike.
Jacob Trusner stays at first. They appeal the play at second, but our field umpire will say that he tagged up properly. Well, Mike Monham, he's already driven in a couple of runs so far this evening. Well, the beautiful thing about Pierre, South Dakota, we still have daylight despite the fact that it is 9:11 p.m. Snabs the runner off third, Trusner the runner off first. Monham the hitter. Hudenick's pitch is hammered foul. Looks like Monham was just out ahead of that one.
Make sure to turn it in for an icy pop.
Tell him that.
Well, Mike Monham, 3 for 4 on the day. Couple of runs batted in, came around to score once himself. Big spot here for the Zap, looking to chip away at a 4-run deficit. Breaking ball called a strike for strike 2. Beautiful slider from Bryce Hudenick as Mike Monham behind in the count 0-2, a spot where you got to put the ball in play if you're Monham. Now the 0-2 pitch. Monham checked his swing. Did he go? No signal from the home plate umpire.
Of course not. He's confused.
The players are confused on the field. And he's going to ask the field umpire. He's going to, well, it looks like it'll go as ball one on Mike Monham. So the count now 1-2. Well, no signal. It's proper there from the home plate umpire. It's just we haven't seen much from him, so it's unclear whether or not that was a swing from Monham. Now the count 1-2. Pitch from Hudenik. Now Monham went around on that one. Nowhere to go with Jacob Trusner sitting on first. Monham strikes out swinging, chasing at a ball down in the dirt. Now 2 outs with runners on the corners brings up Will Calcaterra. Calcaterra 0 for 2 on the day, worked a walk, came around to score. Looking to bring in some runs with 2 outs here for the Zap, as that one catches Will Calcaterra in the side. That loads the bases for the Oahe Zap, brings up Jackson Mix, representing the game-tying run for the Zap. Mix with a couple of home runs so far this season. So Buck snaps the runner off third, Jacob Trusner off second, Will Calcaterra off first. Jackson Mix at the plate, Emiliano Curiel on deck. Big spot here for Jackson Mix. Mix 1 for 3 on the day, an RBI, a run, a walk, a strikeout. He's got one of everything. Hudenik's pitch. A breaking ball called for a strike as the count 0-1 on Jackson Mix. Well, Hudenik's looks sharp with his off-speed pitches. The curveball has a lot of vertical dip on it. 0-1 pitch swung on and missed. Jackson Mix behind in the count 0-2. If you're the Oahe Zap, you got to have something here, trailing by 4 in the bottom of the 8th inning. If you can cut the deficit in half even, send it to a 2-run game to the 9th. The 0-2 pitch swung on and missed. Jackson Mix goes down swinging and leaves the bases loaded. Hudenik throws his glove towards the dugout in celebration. Well, the lead remains 15-11 in favor of the Casper Spuds as we head to the 9th. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. Josh Phillips will lead off the top of the ninth inning for the Casper Spuds against Micah Larson. Well, the Zap leaving the bases loaded in the bottom half of the eighth inning. A strikeout from Jackson Mix to end the inning. Bryce Hudenick coming on after a couple of walks from Tyler Guidry as the lead stays 15-11 in favor of the Spuds. Larson came in to finish off the top of the eighth inning, but the damage was already done. Larson, just one run came around to score when he was out there, but that run, a very questionable call at the plate.
Leading off for the Spuds, first baseman Josh Phillips.
Josh Phillips 2 for 4 on the day. He's driven in a run, came around to score twice. Well, the Zap, if they want any chance in the bottom half of the inning, they're going to have to hold the Spuds scoreless in the top of the ninth inning. Larson's delivery misses low, the count 1-0. Well, Vince Polizzi has already come into the ballgame. You would expect Leandro Guevara to pinch hit for the Zap, although you have 9-1-2. You're not sure where he would possibly pinch hit. The count now 2-0 on Josh Phillips. You possibly look to Jacob Trusner. Maybe that's where you'd pitch Leandro Guevara into the 4 spot, as the Zap would have to get base runners nonetheless, and they would have to reach that point if they want to be in this ball game. Now the 2-0 pitch to Phillips, hit on the ground towards first, and the ball goes foul. Kept now 2-1 on Phillips. Well, the Spuds looking for their 11th straight win. A record Zap attendance there, hoping for some heroics in the bottom half of the ninth inning. The 2-1 to Phillips called for a strike as the count goes 2-2. Well, it'll be a 2-2 on Josh Phillips. Larson gets the sign from Calcaterra, has a target. The pitch, swung on and missed, gets Josh Phillips to chase on the high fastball. Phillips down swinging for the first out of the top of the ninth inning. Huge for Michael Larson to retire the first hitter in the Spuds order, perhaps gets him into a bit of a groove as he'll now face Raphael Jackson. Jackson 2 for 5 on the day, came around to score a couple of times. Well, I feel like we're saying that for every Spuds hitter at this point. A lot of runs to go around as they've put 15 up on the board. Coming back from an 8-run deficit in this ballgame. Jackson rips that one to right field. That ball gets down for a base hit. 1-out single, first pitch swinging from Raphael Jackson. So that will bring up Hunter Billingsley. Billingsley 1 for 2, a run. Had the game-tying, bases-clearing double out to left center field coming back in the 8th. Now a runner on first, 1 out. Larson deals. That one down in the dirt, gets by Calcaterra. So Jackson will head on down to second. Well, Micah Larson, a big leg kick, and he's a righty, so relatively easy to read from runners on first, as he does not adjust his motion with runners on base. Count now 1-0, Jackson off second. Larson looks him back. Runner goes on the 1-0 pitch, called for a strike, throw down to third, not in time. Well, Elijah Reeves got a good jump. Like I was saying, Larson with the big leg kick takes a lot of time on his motion to the plate, as the count now 1-1. Raphael Jackson 90 feet away from making it a 5-run ball game. The 1-1 pitch misses high. The count goes 2-1. Zap trying to keep it to just a 4-run game. Shift on for the lefty. Buck snaps barely to the left of second base. Tyler Hoffman farther right than he normally is. Big hole in the left side between Snabs and Mix at short and third. Mix can't play the middle of the left side with Jackson on third base. Has to stay relatively close to the bag. Now the 2-1 pitch just misses outside as the count goes 3-1. Well, with how far Jackson Mix is playing from Rafael Jackson, he gets a good jump with the Larson leg kick. Could possibly try and steal home. Now the 3-1 pitch, swung on and missed. The count runs full on Hunter Billingsley. Matt Marsick sits on deck for the Spuds. The payoff pitch is fouled away into Capitol Avenue. The count remains 3-2. A long ball game here at Hyde Stadium. 6:05 first pitch. Already coming on 9:25, so 3:20 of game time to this point, and we're not done yet. 3-2 count coming on Hunter Billingsley. The pitch is fouled away once again towards Capitol Avenue. So the Spuds 15 runs on 15 hits and an error. The Zap 11 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. So it'll still be a 3-2 pitch on Billingsley, who swings and misses. Michael Larson gets Hunter Billingsley to go down swinging the second out of the inning. Michael Larson trying to work through the top of the ninth, scoreless. He'll have to get through Matt Marsick first. So the shift will remain for Marsick. Jackson Mix now playing 25 feet away from third base. Jackson, however, remains just a few feet down the bag now. He'll take a bigger lead. As that pitch gets by Will Calcaterra, so Jackson can walk on home to score the 16th run of the ball game for the Casper Spuds, as it's now a 16-11 game. Makes it a 1-0 count on Marsick. Marsick 1-2 on the day, a couple of walks. He's scored all 3 times that he's reached base. Takes a pitch high as the count goes 2-0 on Marsick. Now the 2-0 from Larson misses high as the count goes 3-0. Now an on base 2 outs, 3-0 count, a 16-11 ball game. As that one misses inside, so it'll be a walk for Matt Marsick. So the Zap, after finishing up this 2-game series with the Casper Spuds, will face the Hastings Sodbusters for 2 at home after an off day Monday. They'll head back to Casper for 2 more. Looks like the count might be 3-1 now at this point, as our home plate umpire didn't signal which pitch was a strike. I'm still not certain myself. But regardless, the count now 3-1 on Marsick. Let's give him his props. He started calling the strikes about in the 8th inning. It certainly took him a while. Now the 3-1 fastball lifted in the air left field. Wiggins drifts back, settles under it, and makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Casper Spuds score 1 in the top of the 9th. The Zap trail by 5 going into the bottom of the 9th inning. They're going to need a rally at the plate. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube.
Destination safely tonight and grab a ride from the River City Transit.
Bryce Hudenick going to try and close this one out for the Casper Spuds. He's got 5 runs to play with here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Spuds lead the Zap 16-11. They came back from an 8-0 deficit in the 2nd inning. A run in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, 4 in the 7th, 7 in the 8th, and 1 in the 9th. That's given the Spuds 16 runs on this ball game. Emiliano Curiel is 1 for 3 on the day, came around to score. It'll be Curiel, Hoffman, and Wiggins. The Zap need base runners as they trail by 5 runs. Left the bases loaded back in the bottom of the 8th inning. Hudenick came on for an inning of work, struck out 2, and got through a scoreless 8th. Hudenick comes set. A big deep breath. Now the pitch to Curiel. Curiel takes that one for ball 1. So the count now 1-0 on Emiliano Curiel. Hudenick's pitch, a fastball that missed inside, backs Curiel off the plate as the count now 2-0. Well, the Zap 2-1 so far in the 2nd half as that pitch misses low and inside, so 3 straight balls make it a 3-0 count on Emiliano Curiel. If you're Bryce Hudenick, you got to be thinking with a 5-run lead, you want to attack the plate. Even if you give up perhaps a long ball, you still have a 4-run lead to play with. Instead, the count now 3-0 on Curiel. The pitch misses inside. Emiliano Curiel works a 4-pitch walk to begin the bottom of the 9th inning. And so that will immediately bring out the Spuds manager, James Batten. No action up in the Spuds bullpen. Tyler Hoffman will come to the plate. Well, Hoffman 0 for 2, a couple of runs and an RBI. One of the 3 times he was hit by a pitch came with the bases loaded, which brought in a run. And Bryce Hudenick will exit the game. Number 17 coming into pitch. Or looks like maybe Josh Phillips, unsure, but we'll take a break in the bottom of the 9th inning. Emiliano Curiel, the runner off first. Zap trying to fight back from down 5. You're watching Oahe Zap Baseball on YouTube. It'll be Josh Phillips coming into the game at the bottom of the 9th inning. So one batter does it for Bryce Hudenick, gives up a 4-pitch walk to Emiliano Curiel. Well, Phillips has pitched in 5 games so far this season. He's gone 5 innings, hasn't let up a run to this point, a 1-0 record, 3 strikeouts against 1 walk for Phillips, who will try and close out a sweep for the Casper Spuds. In his way, the top of the Zap lineup, Tyler Hoffman, Noah Wiggins, and Buck Snabs due up for the Zap. So coming on to play first base for the Spuds is Stone Vasek, normally the catcher, so he'll enter this ball game.
Tyler Hoffman, your batter.
Well, unless they made any more changes, Josh Phillips won't be able to hit at the plate again tonight because Vasek came into the game at first. If they swapped someone else in the field, then they could keep Phillips in the lineup. Phillips pitches to Hoffman, hit on the ground towards second, fielded by Stocking to second for one, on to first, in time. Tyler Hoffman grounds into his second double play of the game. Shouting coming from the Zap dugout. They thought Tyler Hoffman's foot beat the ball to the first base bag. Well, Josh Phillips has quickly made 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning, as that brings up Noah Wiggins. So Wiggins, the last chance for the Zap. The base is now emptied with 2 men out after the double play. Phillips is pitched down in the dirt as the count goes 1-0.
Hey, at least the crowd's still chirping and chapping.
It's those boys over in that corner.
Hey, good. I mean, it's fun.
Well, the crowd's still making some noise. They as well were in disagreement with the call at first as the count moves to 2-0 after Phillips is pitched down in the dirt. Noah Wiggins 0 for 4 today, but he's reached twice and scored twice. Now the 2-0 from Phillips misses up and in. The count goes 3-0. It'll be a 3-0 to Wiggins, who works a 4-pitch walk after Phillips misses with that one. Man, the call at first, that really kills the Zap chances here in the bottom of the 9th inning. With a runner on first and 1 out, you maybe have something to work with. It was a bang-bang play. But it looked like Hoffman's foot could have possibly beat the throw to the bag. Well, Buck Snabs will now step in. Snabs 2 for 4. He's driven in a couple of runs, takes a first pitch looking for a strike. Now the 0-1, fastball called strike 2. The Oahe Zap down to their last strike, 0-2 the count on Buck Snabs. 2 outs, runner on first. Zap trailing 16-11. Spuds looking for their 11th win in a row. The 0-2 pitch is fouled away. Buck Snabs stays alive. Well, now the lights are turned on here at Hyatt Stadium as the sun slowly starts to fade. The 0-2 pitch, breaking ball misses outside 1-2. Phillips set on the mound. The pitch down in the dirt gets away from Parker Burt. Wiggins heads on down to second, but the run really inconsequential. Kids continuing to make some noise here at Hyde Stadium from the left side of the field. Nice to see that they're still engaged in this ball game. 2-2, 2 outs, runner on second. Buck Snabs trying to keep the Zap hopes alive. The pitch, fastball is lifted in the air, foul territory, will find the seats, and the count will stay 2-2. Oh, the pitch ricocheting off the press box. It was hit so high we lost sight of it and comes right on top of the little overhang here in the press box. Count stays 2-2 on Buck Snabs. Pitch hit high in the air, left field, that could do it. Settling under it, Marsick makes the play for the final out of the inning. The Casper Spuds complete the 8-run comeback and take this one by a final score of 16-11, their 11th win in a row. The Oahe Zap moved to 2-2 on the second half, 0-2 in conference play, those 2 losses to the Spuds. The Zap set to face the Hastings Sodbusters for a 2-game weekend series on Saturday and Sunday. First pitch on Saturday set for 7:05 p.m. Central's time. And first pitch Sunday will be 1:11 p.m. Central Time. I'm Evan Epstein. Thank you so much for tuning in to Oahe Zap Baseball. We'll see you tomorrow night